Didn't even get to cross.
PodBthcn episode 2. Hi guys, welcome to PodBthcn episode number 2. Tonight we are with the big man himself, the one and only.
I am not a big man.
David Guch.
Don't intro me like that. I feel shy. I'm leaving.
Not yet. The main man from Canyon Paintball Park,
Yes.
NXL Asia, Canyon Paintball.
ProShop. Not
ProShop.
Canyon Pro Pinball was a different place. But Canyon ProShop.
Canyon ProShop. Alright, so let's go.
Let's go.
Welcome. Hello.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, listen.
This
before
is Nan.
Nan, of course I know. Listen.
Khairul.
Khairul, what's up? Listen, before we get started, I just want to quickly say two things. One, none of you can see this, but the setup is extremely professional. I had no idea it was this good looking. I expected like a couple of handphones and then we just talk. So I'm really impressed. I'm like, you know, and that leads me to the second part. I have to say, I'll keep this really brief. Thank you so much, not just from me, but if I can speak for the paintball community in Malaysia, we really need more content to drive people up, and I think this is the best way to do it. And the moment Khairul said, will you come and do it? I said, definitely, because I'm all about trying to support and bring this forward, and you guys are going in the right direction. I just have one piece of advice, and I hope you don't cut this out.
No.
Please don't give up on this. Whatever happens,
We'll try.
don't give up on this.
Thank you.
There
Thank
will
you,
be
sir.
times when you feel like it's going to be down and like people are not going to support this, you don't have enough viewership. Don't give up. I will always support this because I know that this thing is going in the right direction. All right?
Thank you, sir.
So,
you.
say to Amin, I don't give a shit. He's just holding his camera. But listen, please don't give up. All right?
Nope. We
And even if you have that lazy feeling when you have that, you have to fight to do it because I promise you, this will end up being something really big. I have a good feeling.
Oh, thank you.
And that's
thank
why
you.
they call me the Oracle because I can see the future and I see
Thank-
the future of this.
Thank you so much. Well, this was really a not planned thing by us. Me and Ami, we talked about it a few times, and then especially the drive back from Johor. We talked more about it, and then one day I just said, hey, let's just fucking do it lah. And then he got Nan involved, and then the next day we recorded.
No. Nine wanted to get involved in his own.
Okay, all right. I do not know about that, but
Okay.
that's another
No, but
story.
still, it's done by paintballers. This is what I like to see. We sit down here and 3 paintballers, 4, new paintballer. Is like, you know, I always believe content for paintball should be shot by paintballers because we are a strange, I like to say we as well, we are a strange breed of people. Our angles are a little bit different, our shots are a little bit different, our storylines are a little bit different, and only paintballers can understand this struggle. So, and I figure that anything that paintballers put out, this kind of content especially, so professionally done, if I can show you, definitely we are on the right
Thank
track.
you.
And I've been waiting for you to do something like this. You're a talented guy, you've been in this industry for years.
He's
I've
been
known you
here.
nearly now 10 years. I'm talking about Khairul, can you see?
Khairul.
He should have come up with this shit ages ago. He shot so much content at Canyon, so much content with us, never see any of it, right? But this is now, I hope that I can motivate you every week.
Saya Melayu,
Inspire-
Melayu malas.
I hope that we can motivate and inspire you every week because, listen man, you need to be out there. This is your calling. And it's the same thing I
calling,
told.
ah.
This is your calling. I shit you not.
I thought my calling playing pinball.
No.
No.
At
Damn
some point, we're all going to be put to pasture. You feel me or not?
okay.
Right then, we've got to figure out what we're going to
Nan,
do.
kau tu cakap banyak kan. Kalau tak nanti kau macam Amin. Amin minggu lepas dah bising kan.
You talk. You talk. Now I'll get you in. Listen, let's
Alright,
get to the
let's get
intro so that we don't forget
Okay,
Alright,
where
let's
we're
get to
going.
You
Right,
tanya.
let's go intro.
You
Yeah.
tanya soalan pertama silakan.
Okay. Guch, intro by yourself.
What? I think you're supposed to ask me a question.
It's for
Okay.
other outside
All right.
people.
All right.
that
Let
doesn't know you.
before most people probably watching this, if it is put in different places, probably don't know who I am. My name is David Guch. I run Canyon Paintball facility in KL. In PJ, in the heart of PJ in Bandar Utama. I also run a league called NXL Asia. We also have a ProShop. We've also play paintball. I play with the wise guys and run the team, founder. If you ask me to intro, I can go on and on and on, but I'm sure again most of the people watching this already pretty much know, so I don't have to oversell myself.
No.
So that's pretty much what I think about if I want to intro myself.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Oh, also I'm born in KL, Malaysia, half Chinese, half Bai. What do you call that? Chibai? Are you gonna beep that out?
No.
A lot of people want to figure out. A lot of people. This is a question. A lot of people
It's
ask me,
going
"What
in.
are you? Are you Malay, Chinese, Indian?" Well, I'll tell you what I am right now. I am Chibai. I am Punjabi Chinese. my father is half Chinese, half Punjabi. My mom's half Chinese, half Sri Lankan. So that's what my mix is. So I am Chibai actually, and I'm proud of it. All right.
Chibai.
And you know which part is the bai, right?
Mr.
You know
Chibai?
you know which part is the bai, right? No, the head cannot be the head. You need hair to wear a turban, man.
The other head.
That's right. You gotta be straight.
Right.
So, yeah.
Tell us a brief about your paintball journey.
My pinball journey.
Serious?
Come on, that's a long
Tell
question.
Us, brief about your paintball journey.
He sat down. He was waiting to spurt that out now. Look, man, it's like I heard Issei's one. That was long. So I'll try to keep it brief because a lot of the people I hope are watching are my friends and they already know. So I try to keep things as how I remember it. I think it was 07, late 07. We went to play in Tanah Merah. We went with a friend of mine. I was a golfer all my life. I still am a golfer. And my career from athletics went to golf. And I was quite, I guess, I would say successful-ish in golf, amateur golf career. And then a good friend of mine who was in the golfing circuit with us dragged me to Tanah Merah to a mutual friend of ours, Omar's house, to play paintball. And we started shooting each other there and it was fun. And from there, somehow or other, we decided to start a paintball business together. And from there, we grew to another paintball field, another league. And yeah, so yeah, paintball journey, man, it's a very tough question. You have to be more specific on which part. Huh? Tanah Merah. We started Tanah Merah back then. You know, it's like a jungle field. But this is Omar's house, man. It was 80 acres of house. You will never believe this. You walk into this guy's house, it's a polo field, football field, go-kart track. So, and then he had put 20 acres aside, says, hey, listen, man, you can shoot each other up in here with paintball guns. And I remember then, we all had Titman A5s. There was like 10 of us, bunch of pallets, a small compressor, and we just run around in the rubber. He had a rubber estate in the thing, and we run around rubber estate shooting each other, shooting snakes. And that's what we did, and we just played every weekend. We used to get up at 5 a.m. in the morning. Those days we start early. You get up at 5 in the morning and get there by 7 a.m. in the morning. We'd play 2 games the whole day.
When was this? What year?
07, I'd like to say 07 and 08. Mid 07 I started playing, then 08 I got hooked onto it. But you know, again, it was this clashing of my golf, because the golfing career was like a weekend thing as well. It's the same like paintball. You play on the weekends. Your friends play on Saturdays, tournaments are on Sundays. So a lot of the same thing. So it clashed a lot, but somehow or other, I hung on to the golf for a while. I was at the top of my golfing career. And then I felt then that we were lacking a little bit in the organization of the paintball there. It was more like a free-for-all. Everyone turns up, who wants to play? Let's just go. No refs, no nothing. And then all the while you see some of this content on the internet, on these huge, big games. I figured we could do that. And so, yeah, I mean, that's another story. That's how I started Canyon Paintball then after that. But that's another question though, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about Canyon Paintball.
Yes.
So Canyon Paintball, this is, forgive me if I'm wrong lah.
Yeah.
This is your second or your third
I would
location?
say second.
Second.
Tanah Merah would have been my first. Canyon Paintball would be my second, I'd say. I'd say second, and my biggest effort into putting a proper field together. That would be Canyon Paintball 1.0. That was when we were at the club in
remember
Bandar.
that.
You remember that, right?
Yeah.
That was Canyon 1.0. I mean, it's a really interesting story because I remember, I live down the road from there. I don't know if anybody knows. I live in BU. And I always used to play golf at that golf club, 9-hole golf club, right? And I saw this piece of land there. And I figured, nah, no one's going to give you this piece of land. This is right in the middle of Bandar Utama, right? And what do you have in the back of your mind? Paintball. Nah, they're not going to do it. So I decided that I would give it a try. So I managed to, I have no connections whatsoever. I just walked into the front door, found a connection, went to see someone in the property department, and out of nowhere, the Tan Sri that owns the One Utama said, is that guy interested to do something with a piece of land? Send him out. And I sat there and I remember, before I know it, I was sitting on the same table with the owner of Bandar Utama Group, Tan Sri Chia, and he was like, hey, listen man, what do you have in mind? I said, listen, I want to build a paintball field. You know, and he says, what is that? I said, well, he said,
What is that?
he's like, yeah. I said, well, you know,
it's
I
not
said,
a brothel.
it's not. I should have though. I said, and it was quite a nice piece of land. I don't even remember. It's 10 acres, right? And he said, look, we were going to put a go-kart track there. I said, I tell you what, this looks like a temporary piece of land. It's like you want to build something on this. You put a go-kart in there, you might have to spend $1 million on this thing. People will drive around in circles, then you have to tear it up and put it. Let me propose something you don't spend any money. I'd pay you a rent every month. I'd use it minimal, and I would bring people here. What would that be? So then I pulled up my phone and I pulled up HK Army video of people playing paintball. I said, this is what we're going to do. He said, I tell you what, he put a proposal on the table for me next week, and then we'll discuss it. Before the proposal came out, the fella already, I tell you, this is one of the most switched on people in the whole world. Big boss of Bandar Utama. Within 2
Shout
days,
out
he knew,
Bandar Utama.
Bandar Utama, big sir to Tan Sri. In 2 days, he knew everything he needs to know about paintball. 3 days later, before my proposal came up, all right, you can take this piece of land. How much rent can you pay? I was like, well, I can't pay that much. What did you have in mind? So they said, I tell you what, you get started first. First 4 months is free because you're going to build. Yeah, but okay, you got to remember, right? I don't know if anybody knows this. That thing was just a jungle. It was a swamp. There was nothing there. No road, no nothing. What you saw when you came was already 200,000 or 300,000 ringgit worth of development, which we had done with my own money. So then I remember those times with friends of mine, David Baring, Moon, and I couldn't do it alone. So I called up my friends in paintball, and I called up Poison, I called up Moon, I said, listen, I'm going to sit you guys down. What are you guys doing? Yeah, we're still playing paintball.
Who was that?
Poison, Baring, Poison, Baring, Ausang, I don't really remember, Hafiz, Moon, all these friends which we used to play with in Tanah Merah. I sat them down and said, listen, I've got this piece of land, and I need to get started on this thing, and it will be better than Tanah Merah, and it will be right in the city center. Are you guys with me? Everyone was like, yes. So I said, this is how it's going to be. We all need to take out an X amount of cash. We put it down on the table. We put that in the bank, but we'll use my money to get started. That money we'll take out later. Okay.
So
Because I really believed in the project. I really believed in the project.
They jadi your partners.
Yeah, straight away, everyone was in. Because basically, you didn't have to come out with any money. So I said, you just take out your money, we put it in the bank. That's like a kind of like a, you know, let's just make sure you're in. You know what I mean? So we put all that money in, and then we got started. And within a month, we got, you know, I guess we were popular because everybody needed a new place to play in, and this was convenient. Those days, you'd have to, unless you played speedball, then you'd go to Mapak or action paintball. That was, but to go and play rec ball those days, you'd have to drive 45 minutes out to Tanah Merah, or you'd have to drive to all these other places really far. Paintball Valley was open. You'd still take 58 minutes from where we were to get there. So we were 1 kilometer from Bandar Utama, and it was a big hit. I still remember. It was a big hit. And we went to, then, and you can talk about this later, my first suppliers were Skirmish Paintball, because then I only knew TC. So I put him together. I called up TC. I said, TC, I need to get started with this. And I have to give props to TC. He helped me out because he's the one that said, hey, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. Because I said, look, I have an idea of how to do business. I have an idea of how to get this thing to be a working project, but I need help to set this thing up. So he knew you need a compressor, you need all this sort of stuff, right? So TC was the first one to get me in, and they lent me their compressor, they helped me get started. And that was in, I would say, I'd like to say late 08, 09. And it was a big hit. I mean, from the first day onwards, we were running games. Those days, we used to run 40 on 40 every Saturday, 40 on 40 every Sunday. The speedball was not up yet then. Speedball was up, and then we saw demons, right? So.
I remember going down the stairs to go to the
you
film.
come with Jason once. I remember Jason Yap brought this guy, and this guy was Thin Khairul. I don't remember Thin Khairul. I remember Thin Khairul. I tell you, every time I look at Khairul, I remember Thin Khairul. Yeah.
I'm so thin.
He turns up, you know, and I remember they turned up on a weekday with some friends of Jason, and Jason needed some of his friends to play with him, and he brought Khairul. Thin Khairul come with all the jersey and all this stuff, and they were just like, wow. I said, this guy, look at him play, man. He was like, you know, snap shooting people out, and they were diving into the. They brought a different kind of a vibe to our rec ball scene because, you know, I mean, this is one thing I gotta respect about Khairul. He's all in. He don't play like some guys.
GI all in.
Yeah, he was all in. That's right.
Empire all in.
He played to win. You know what I mean? Even when it was rec ball, it was like 4 on 4 on a weekday. He played to win. He was diving. You know, I like to play with guys like that. They come out from head to toe dirty. You know what I mean? Not like come out from head to toe like, yeah, I played a few points, you know. This guy plays. That's why I always like Khairul. So that's how we started Canyon Paintball, you know. And it was a big hit. We ran that place for 4 years, I think, 5 years. And it got bigger and bigger. And then then Rascal needed a place to train for some strange reason. And they were right next. I don't know whether, for people who don't know, we are in the city center, and all the paintball shops are within 2-3 kilometers around. I mean, we were like Killer Spot, Rascal, KCHL, what's his name? Napshot. Everyone was there. So we were like 2-3 kilometers away from everyone. So people used to go shop and come. We had great business those days. Everyone used to come with new stuff every week, and I still remember those guys. I just wish those guys would come back to paintball. Those guys, I still remember those guys because they were the ones. we had these strange guys.
drop
Nick
some names.
Chew.
Nick Chew.
You remember guys like that? You know what I mean? Nick Chew. And we had some twins. You know, what's his name of this kid whose father was the Bun Siu Motors guy? He was playing for Demons as well. I forget his name. Poison would know. That's why you need backup. They used to come, and these guys were all, I would say, good ambassadors for the sports. Because every week, okay, not Nick Chew, because Nick Chew was a bit of a bitch, but he spent a lot of money. He used to spend a lot of money in the shops. They used
Shout
to
out
love
Nick
it.
Chew.
Nick Chew, he used to just buy every new shit there was. You know what I mean? So guys like that were so unique. But they were a lot more ambassadors, I remember those days in the sport. They used to bring people with them when they come. Every week, they come with 3 new friends, come with 4 new friends. Fun, we don't see that anymore. And I think this would be the next question you ask me. And later you can ask me straight, why is there no new blood in paintball? I can tell you exactly why, because I've been in the industry longer. Is there in there? Why is there no? Why is paintball not really growing?
That one is the
That
first.
was the first Canyon Paintball.
Right. Let's go with the second
okay,
one.
the second Canyon Paintball, a lot of people don't realize this, but we are actually on the same piece of land. Because we were so successful, and the club itself, I don't know whether you know, this is one club in Bandar Utama. For those people that used to turn out and play, parking was hell those days because it was so many people coming to
Yeah,
play.
I remember.
You remember that? We used to have 100, 200 cars blocked, and then you had to pay parking to get in and all that sort of stuff. So yeah,
Yeah,
$1
I
you
remember.
had to pay to get in.
What year was that?
That was,
Black and
I'd say 09, 10, 11, 10, no, 08, 09, 2010.
Alright.
And people used to pay, you know, it was only $1, right? And then you get in. And then if you had a 1 card, it'd be free, something like that. But anyway, so Tan Sri come up with his cunning plan after that. He called me up and says, listen,
Shout out
that
Tan
piece
Sri.
of land that you're on now, we might, like you said, build something on it. I was like, okay, I knew this day was going to come, but hang on, we still want you. Because apparently, the paintball was actually attracting people to the neighborhood because we had something really unique. So Bandar Utama, I don't know whether you realized at that point, they were the first ones to do rock climbing, they had this
Camp
rock
5.
climbing, Camp 5, they had this baseball thing
Yep.
up there. So he was like the guy who had all the strange spots in one area and obviously paintball. And it cost him nothing, we paid rent every month. So it was actually a great deal. So he said, listen, I don't want to lose you guys, I want to give you something else, but you have to go and have a look and see whether you like it or not. And so, you know, he took me on this drive and we went up there and there we go. He showed me 40 acres of land. No one would believe there's 40 acres in the middle of Bandar Utama. It was just jungle, right? He says, from here to here, choose whatever you want. I was like, for real? So that time I had Imam, who's still with me. Shout out to Imam, one of the best people I've ever had to work with. We trekked, it took us, believe it or not, from that entrance that you went in, that you come into before a road, that entrance to where our main base is took 1 hour to get to before the road was ready. We had to trek through there. It was nothing but
1
deep.
hour?
1 hour. And we were lost. We had to have a GPS on. It was getting dark at night. You want to hear scary stories also? I can tell you later of the Canyon Paintball. Poison still got the pictures. If you want, you can see shit that we found up there because that time was just
Jungle.
deep jungle and secondary jungle that was not used in the middle of Bandar Utama, right? So when I looked at it, somehow or other, I felt, yes.
But the condos were there lah.
Condo was still in front. We had right across the road, but you don't realize that road, that gate that you had there was not there yet. There was no gate to go in. There was no football then.
Yep.
It was just the jungle. It was the golf course, but but I don't know whether you realize this, but it's behind the golf course actually. So that was the thing. So I never realized that piece of land was there, and we track up this jungle and go and find. And somehow or other, when I came to the center where you have the base and the registration, I saw it. I saw the speedball field, I saw the big game, I saw everything. And I said, definitely yes, but I'm going to need some help. We got to build some infrastructure here. So that's what we did. We ended up building the roads there, piping water. Believe it or not, electricity comes from the Sony building, 1.7 kilometers away.
Sony building.
You know where the Sony building is down at the
The
high-tech park is right there.
high-tech park,
We
yeah.
get electricity and water from there. We had to pull that pipe all the way down from down there to up there. So if you look in the drains at Canyon, the electricity and water is piped all the way from down there. So, you know, we have been the guys that have tripped the Sony building many times because our electrician is Imam. Yeah, we are tinkering with this shit and boom, suddenly, hey, this, boom. I think we kind of screwed up a little bit, you know, and then you can get this call. Are you guys doing any electrical? No, I don't know what happened. So the whole building goes off, right? So those were the days, man. So I'm proud to say. So that was Canyon 2.0, and I mean, it grew into what it is today.
How long have you had Canyon 2.0?
Yeah, Canyon 2.0, I want to say, is from Canyon Paintball proper is 2011 till now.
Years. 9 years.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Canyon Paintball as a group is 11 years old, right? So Canyon 2.0, I would say, would be 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 8 years now. Yeah.
8 years? 9 years?
7, 8 years now.
7, 8
2.0.
years.
Yeah,
Congrats.
easily.
Congrats.
Hey, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, if you want to ask me, you can ask me, I can tell you. I mean, all the way, it has been hard because I've been told by the so-called people who know that you're doing it wrong. You can't do it this way, or you're going to fail. This is not the way.
Doing what? What way?
Everything that we wanted to do, the way that we ran games, the way that we were, I don't know whether people take it for granted now, but we're quite professional in the way we run corporate games, for example. We're quite strict about timing, for example. I'm the only guy that opens Saturday and Sundays. I don't open Monday to Friday. I don't know. Members can come Monday and Friday and practice, but we don't open on Monday. I only open Saturday and Sunday. We were the first, and I like to say the first people to invest in, for example, our rental markers to have compressed air tanks attached directly to it. Those days, everyone used CO2. Back in those days, CO2, and you had a CO2 tank, you get it. I was like, I'm going to buy this, we'll put it together, and we'll hurt the compressor. And no, that's not going to work. You know, people don't do that. Compressed air is only for speedball. And I was like, no. You know what I mean? There was a lot of stuff like that all the way when we went. And it was like, oh, you're not going to attract this market. No, you're not going to attract. People are not going to like that. And we were the first people to charge more than 100 ringgit, 120 ringgit per head for people to come and play. And everyone, including my partners, were like, no one is going to pay that to play. I was like, but somehow I said, look, we have to start setting a standard because most of us, and I was very careful in the people that I picked, we don't need the paintball business to pay our bills. I said, that's one of the main things that we have to do before you come into business here. None of you need this to pay your home bills. Because the moment you figure out that you need the paintball business to pay your bills at home, then we're going to start skimping on everything. This thing has got to be passionate from the start. This is your passion. You won't lose money, you'll make money, but you're not going to make this amount of money because we're going to spend a lot of money to get this thing going right and nicely. So if we wanted to be, we could have started the business and charged people 70 ringgit per head. Then I could have gone to TC and squeezed them for a box of paint, for example, and I could have squeezed them to give me free this and free that. But from the start, we always wanted to have this kind of direction to decide for ourselves whether I wanted, hey, listen, man, I can close my gate tomorrow and go home. I don't owe anybody any money. I've covered all my costs for all the guns or whatever is in there. I don't owe any of the players anything anymore. I've done what I'm supposed to do. I can dig a deep hole, bury it. And I figured that is the only way we can move forward, is that if you don't have this pressure of utang behind you to make your bills every month. The only people we utang is our landlord. And we have never missed, and please, our rental started off from 6,000 to now, 10 years later, well into 5 figures is what we pay monthly for rental there.
5 figures?
Well into 5 figures. Well into 5. You just imagine a piece, 1,000 square foot of land, 1,000 ringgit is what they charge you per square foot in the condo in front for rental.
Okay.
So you put that number down and you calculate what 25 acres up there. You go and nego lah.
Shout out Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan. Yeah, Dylan, man. Yeah, so let's not get into that. I mean, that's talking about money and people are going to think, oh, these guys are rich, man. No, man.
All right, so that's it. Canyon's done.
Done. Canyon's done.
Next question. Let's talk about your previous event.
Okay, the Johor event. Straight away to that.
Yes.
You know, okay, good. I like that. We go. What do you want to know about the last event? For me, the thing that I want to take away from the last event are the beautiful pictures that we see of everybody having a good time playing paintball.
Not Khairul.
That came on Monday for me. That came on Monday for me. But you know what I like about Bob and One Mart is they post fast stuff. Fridays, Saturdays. Shout out to those guys. I love working with them. Very professional guys. I mean, you know, I'm happy to look after them whenever they come because they actually do the job in a way that I like it done because they also understand from my point of view what I want, and I hate having to tell people stuff. Like, hey, you know, you guys also sometimes you pay photographers for pictures, then you're wondering, bila nak gambar.
He's the media.
Yeah, people gambar. You know what I mean? Guys are, who's slow, who's fast. So I know what people want as far as play. They want to see your pictures quickly, right? Yep. And Bob Taha and One Mat, even though they're contracted by individual teams to take pictures from them, I contract them to take an overall picture of them, and I've given them a specific brief. A specific what I want to see. right? And it always has to cover everything. The referees, it's got to cover players, it's got to cover the scenery, because I think in the end, this is what you take away from it. There's blue pictures. I mean, I don't know whether you've it, but to me, blue color is what everyone remembers when they left that last event, right? Blue. And it's gone all over the world now, apparently. I got everyone now from all over the world asking me how we pulled that off. Look, I have to admit, it's not done by me alone. We had Anjuran Bersama, we had people in Johor, we had partners, I went through 11 locations before we decided on this one. I've been to Johor this year more times than I think people that live in Johor.
If it's easy, everyone will do it.
That's right. I keep telling them that. But here's the thing. It looks easy. It looks easy. It does look easy. I'm sorry to say, it looks very, very easy. It looks like, I say, even some people, they think that they turn up on Thursday. This thing. You've got some nets. I could do that. It's just some nets. There's some bunkers there. Yeah, scoreboard, wiring, people. All this doesn't matter though. We're just like, it took actually, I remember they contacted me in December last year already, and they were really interested to bring this to Johor. They were already, look, we want to bring this event to Johor because we want to bring something different to Johor. And I was always, after I did Malacca, my heart was always wanting to do something in Johor because I have this thing against me for paintball. It's like every state that I've done it in, it's the state that people say you can't do it. Every time. Everyone said, no, you can't deal with the police.
Every
there.
time?
You can't deal every time.
Selangor, Melaka, Johor.
Penang, Selangor, Malacca. The first event, the second event, me and Muchik had a great time. First event, I asked Muchik, we had hell.
The mud.
Okay, that's the playing part. To me, honestly, Acha got this right. The moment the first buzzer goes off, my pressure is off. Because before that, getting this event out there is the hard part. It's like, that's when all the paperwork comes in. That's when a lot of people will say, yes, but this is a Malaysian thing. It's not really yes. Because when the time comes, oh yes, but you say yes because you have to do this first. They don't tell you that. And there's a lot of that going on and on. I can be specific, but I'm sure Malaysians know what I'm talking about. Okay. This area of red tape is something that we can never get past. And every state that I've gone to do it in has been that difficult. It's been that difficult beforehand. And I figured then everyone will tell you Johor is the hardest state to get past police, to get past council and all that kind of thing. But to me, Johor has always been the best state because we had so many fantastic teams that came out of Johor.
True. And also Singapore.
Singapore as well. And these people, we owe it to them for them not to spend on hotel, on transport, on all that sort of stuff which we do to go to that state because they've come and supported us as a community. OSB, Pirates, all these guys, I mean, I've known them for years, and all of them have come and supported us over the years and transport, and I always wanted to do it, and this is what I felt I had to do. Even for Singaporeans, for them, some of them, I think the Lanun guys, they come play, go home, come play and go home every night, right? Hey, you could do that, but hotels were so cheap. I don't know whether you realize that. The hotel that was just down the road, you stayed there, was like $100 a night or something like that.
A lot of Airbnb around.
Airbnb, food. So Johor was just the perfect state to do it. And when they contacted me in December, I said, definitely, if you guys are happy to take this initial risk, because I can tell you right now, no matter how early we plan for things, everything comes down to the last week. We can start planning in January. We can get our paperwork ready in January. I can fill up. I tell you, I think we set a new record this time for Johor. We had 29 teams sign up in 20 seconds or something. Because I put an offer out for the first time. I said, first four teams from each. Right? I felt like I wanted to give something back. Remember that? I put four teams, and a little known fact, in 23 seconds, we sold 30 teams. And in the back of my mind, I always want to set Tim Montreso as a benchmark because he's Iron City Classic. Sold out in like 1 minute, 70 teams. I was like, man, I wish we could do that. And I was thinking, how am I going to do that? And we did it this time. 30 teams signed up in 28 seconds. Because the moment I pressed open, bang, 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 everyone was in. And I was like, hey, look, and this is not a testament to how good we are. This is just a testament of people wanting to play paintball in Johor, and people wanting to go back to playing. So I was like, damn, this thing's a success. So I owe it to those people to put out as good a show as I can, right? This is what Johor meant to me, because all these people put their effort and their time and their trust, I would say trust, to say, look, I'm going to come. And I don't know whether, again, some people would like to think that the location was the drawing factor. It was part of it, but I think even if we went to a Padang, we would have still got a good sambutan in Johor. The Johor people wanted it, Singapore people wanted it. We had enough following from Penang, from Selangor to go. We would have had 60 teams done. We had that extra 10 teams maybe because we were on turf, but no one really know what kind of turf we are on. So I can't say that you came because of the turf. And the whole world, no one has played on turf like this. I myself, till the first game, was worried that this turf was unplayable. I tested so many. You asked me like a crazy fool. Sometimes I come there with my boots, you know, and run. Yeah, it feels I can do it. Run back and forth, because my biggest worry was that if we had filled up the field with pellets, it would become too oily and impossible to play on. And then this would be a problem. But then I would thought to myself, hey, but then both sides would have the same thing, right? But then again, it wouldn't be enjoyable, right? Because you want to have, but luckily, it turned out to be, I shit you not, the best surface one could ever hope for to play on paintball ever. Because it was soft, it was fantastic for diving. When it rained, it became better. You know, everything. And okay, here's another thing. For infrastructure side, it was beautiful to set up. We drive a lorry in through one way, we drop everything, lorry can come out the other way, electricals here, where do you want water? We got here. Where do you want electricity? We got here.
Yeah, it's a stadium, right?
Fantastic,
So it's easy.
yeah. And I had this idea of, I don't know whether you remember, in front of the blue field was a green field, and then there was this bleachers in between. And we were going to put the players there because I figured there would be not enough space for people to sit up in the stadium. And I put people on the bleachers, and I had like 15 tents ready to put out there. And I thought that would make sense. Then we would, because for some strange reason, the people that we work with thought there would be such a big crowd to watch paintball that the stadium would be full. I said, this is our problem with paintball. The people that watch paintball are only paintballers. Everyone will be playing, no one will be watching. So we figured out in the end, I said, tell you what, let's just move everybody into the stadium. We'll put everybody up there. We'll take those tents and put it outside. We'll have, you know, something. And it just worked out. It worked out great. It was easy, right? I mean, as players, pull up your bag up there, sit down. It was a bit hot though, I must say. Certain times in the morning.
Just in the morning.
Yeah, it was hot.
Fine.
I figured that. My camera overheated. I was trying to do the live, but yeah, so that's what Johor was for me. I mean, you know, that was how it ended up. But, you know, great event to me. But I think it's just a step in the right direction for us. I'm not saying we're going to get a better, again, a lot of people get it wrong. We may not ever get a better location than Johor, but I wanted people also to realize that our back-end organization was also spot on. You can't give that stadium to just anybody and turn it into what you all played on. I promise you this much. It's not as easy as that's the stadium. All right, anyone can do. Bagilah aku buat. Nah, I don't think so.
Bagilah aku pasang net.
Aku pasang net, aku pasang tiang. You ask poor Azman, day 2 on Tuesday, field 2, entire net system blown out by rain. The floor, the turf, lifted off the ground because there was so much volume of water coming in. So these are when I arrived, Man said, ini teruk, hujan sini teruk. I was like, okay.
Shut up, man.
Yeah, man, good job from the Southern Region guys, you know, combining with my guys as well. You know, we also had good guys as well. So yeah, there's a lot of back-end stuff which people don't realize. And I feel that also we shouldn't bring it up to them. It's not your problem. It's my problem. But if you like to know, this is what we go through.
If you like to know, I tell you.
I can tell you if you would like to know. But you don't need to know.
Yeah.
Ada banyak kerja belakang, you come and play. That's what I set you up to do. So.
Okay.
NXL Asia 2020.
Yes.
What's in store?
Okay, 2020.
What's
so
in store?
What's in store? That's good. You see, this guy, I like this guy. You know why? He asks his open-ended questions that will give you a 2-hour answer. You know what I mean? It's like so open.
Banyak content.
Serious.
Yeah.
Banyak content.
Okay.
and now dia tengah jadi chill.
Playing.
Okay.
I don't even know where to start with that. I'll start with the dates. Our dates are
the dates,
confirmed.
the dates.
April 17, 18, 19, and
Hold on,
August.
what?
April 17, 18, 19. It's on the internet. Go and look at it. Don't waste time with this pod listening to that. The dates are online. Everybody knows the dates now.
April.
But first one's in Selangor.
Confirm.
Second one's in Penang.
Confirm.
Third one, I have to say it's PNC at the moment because we are discussing the Super Tour as well. I don't know whether you realize.
Yeah, the Super Tour,
So
yeah.
that's something that I can't really talk about directly now because we are vying for Super Tour as well in NXL Asia. So for the people that don't know what the Super Tour is,
Please.
it is a pro division
Yep.
that will showcase the top 6 pro teams of 2019, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, 2019 team, and they will play their own division for prize money amongst themselves. It's not a showcase event. It's not an event where people will turn up.
It's not demo games.
It's not a demo game. They are here to win because there's prize money. They are sponsored to turn up.
Prize money from you?
From NXL, not from me.
NXL,
I can't
okay.
afford the prize
I
money
know,
for those guys.
that's what I'm thinking.
That will blow me out. Issei is bitching about 5,000 million. Can you imagine these guys turning up here? You know, okay, I got $5 grand for you guys. Would that be enough? You know what I'm saying? Would that be enough now? It's called a super tour. But at this point, nothing is confirmed yet. I mean, they're talking about it in Australia. We're talking about it as well. They're talking about it in Europe. I'm told 4 legs. But right now, we're waiting for Tom Cole. Tom traditionally takes a break after NXL World Cup. As you can imagine, there's a 600 plus teams at NXL this year. I would be taking a break if I was him there. He normally just takes off, doesn't answer emails, doesn't answer, so everyone knows. So he took off and he will not be back probably till end December. So I can't rightly say I know my date or because the location, the date I pretty much have in my mind, but the location, if we do get Super Tour, will have to be special. Because I can't just...
will you merge the Super Tour and the final?
Okay, the Super Tour, as I'm told from my last email with Tom, would be a Saturday, Sunday event only. 2-day event. So they'll run prelims on Saturday on field, a main field, which will be set up by them. And but they will be here all week. So they will do signings on Friday. It will be all PR and media Thursday, Friday. And they will run as well both fields. When I say run, head ref will come from there. Tournament director will come from there.
The commissioner also.
Jason will come down from there. Okay. This is what I'm told. The list of names were on there.
I
don't know if I don't know if I'm speaking too soon, but I say, hey, this is a podcast for Malaysians. I don't see. I don't. Okay. If Tom's gonna watch this and I'm gonna get bitched at from the States because of this, hey, you guys are going places, man. You know what I'm saying?
So you don't know whether you're gonna merge with them, whether it's gonna be the same.
I don't know because, like I said, there's still a lot of questions unanswered, which I'm being a little bit. That's the thing that, again, this will probably be one of those times where people will say, nah, it's not going to work. No, you can't do it. Again, so I'm going to take that as a challenge because I'm going to try and ask the questions that I always ask, which is sometimes maybe sounds naive, but I need to know who's going to pay for the air tickets, who's going to pay for all this sort of stuff. I need to know because our NXL runs 100% on my budget. I don't have a sponsor. I don't know whether you noticed, but it runs 100% on you guys. Yep. Your registration, your paintball pallets pays for what you see out there almost 100%, right? The only difference is I have to front the cash before you all turn up. Right? That's the only difference. So when that cash comes back, or if it doesn't, like we in Penang or whatever, then I have to take that risk. So this is something where I would say people sometimes can be a little bit naive when they don't understand that to put an event of this small magnitude, I would say we had 2 field event, is barely what we can finance on our own. I've had to dip into the Canyon Paintball. This is why I'm blessed. I have Canyon Paintball to dip into. Also mine. So I can dip into funds from Canyon Paintball, which is a hugely successful paintball park, to finance the front portion of the NXL Asia to run. So when that thing goes, not enough money, a little bit, I can top up. But after that, everybody gets paid back from NXL Asia. You look at my NXL Asia account today, that's probably 3,000 ringgit in it. Maybe just 4,000 something. All paid already, I got 4 grand. Right? So now we're waiting. So where I make money from now is from 1 extra pallet or 2 extra pallets from the container which I brought in, which will be sold at Canyon Paintball. So that's paid for, right? So that's paid for. So assuming that's worth 30,000, 40,000 ringgit, that's what we'll make from it eventually. But hey, no one else can make this money. Yep. You know what I'm saying? It's not yours, it's not yours, it's not yours. My boys go out and we sell corporate games to make that money back. So that's where we make money from. Wow. That's why paintball organizers and league people fail. You don't have this as a back end. Like for me, I have this as a back end. If I don't sell the pallets at the event, I take them back. You guys will shoot them, I will shoot them. But if you, for example, don't have anything on the back end, for example, I'd say like Acha, WPC, this guy takes a huge risk every year. He got nowhere to move his pallets if it don't sell like last year. That's why we've been pushing, and me and Jane say you have to open a field because you are picking up a container of paint for WPC.
Shout out Acha.
Shout out Acha, my good friend. You put a container of paint and the risk is always there as an organizer whether we're going to move this or not. I mean, you can't buy 1 pallet of paint from the US. It's okay, you can buy from China or India or whatever it is. But listen, man, if you want to do something, and I know like you guys from this setup here, you do properly. Just like me. I bring the 3-star pallets. I could bring Hot Box or GI 1-star or some put together $12 paint and make heaps of money from that. But look, we went to the max of our budget of what we can afford and we bring 3-star. When was the last time anyone shot paint? I dare say it is the best paint shot in Asia the last 10 years. Okay. 10 years, seriously, from what I see. And from an organizer point of view, I can put this paint, we're still shooting it now. It's still good. Last weekend, we're still shooting it. That paint arrived 2 weeks ago and it will be good till December. So
Okay. So NXL Asia 2020, first two
Yeah.
dates are confirmed.
April, Selangor, and probably late 2020 after World Cup. If we get Super Tour, definitely after World Cup.
That's the third event. Huh?
Third event, yeah.
Okay.
So late
Alright.
a little bit
So
this
yeah,
year.
if you want to play NXL 2020, look out to the internet for the dates.
Yes, and again, going back to the dates,
book your spots.
Yes.
Are you going to do the same thing?
Yeah, what do you mean?
The fuss.
Yeah.
The promotion.
No.
No.
That was because of Johor
Aiyah.
and my anjuran bersama was a little
Aiyah.
bit. My anjuran bersama was a little bit.
Amir showing the middle finger behind the camera.
Hey, you guys made. You know, I got to go back to this free pallets thing. People do get free pallets at
Hold on.
NXL,
Wait,
right?
wait,
That was okay. We'll answer that later.
The next
But I
question.
have to go back to the dates.
Okay.
I have to say sorry to NXL US. I have to say sorry to RAM
Why?
because they came back. Hey, Guch, you announced the dates before. Normally, traditionally, I discuss it with RAM and GI and Tom. But this time, somehow or other, I felt that I had to quickly announce our dates because.
Why? Why do
Okay,
you have
here's
to
the thing. I
announce?
looked at our dates. We have these strange holidays in this part of the world, which no one else has. We have back-to-back Chinese New Year, Hari Raya, Bulan Puasa, and all this sort of stuff. And they come back-to-back this year,
Yep.
right? And if I want to avoid making life difficult for paintballers in general, and I will try and give everybody, all events, a chance to play. Everyone, whether it's EPS, whether it's WPC, SPS, Taiwan, Formosa, wherever it is, we have to find dates that will not clash with these events. So
Can
it's
you guys do that?
it's really hard because no one wants to sit down to discuss them. So we actually have to wait for everyone to. I discussed with Jane and Ben in Singapore. Tradition for the last 3 years, that's what we've been doing. I discussed normally with Acha if he's going to do. Now recently I'm talking to the Taiwan guys. The Taiwan is two factions there. I can explain to you. I talked to one of the factions. So we're trying to avoid dates that would clash. And dates that would clash would be dates obviously that are on the same weekend or dates that are 1 week before or after. It's a budget thing or a traveling thing. So we try to avoid that. So we have to traditionally be at least 2 weeks before an event to not clash. So that would mean in 1 month, 2 events only,
Yep.
right? So 1 year, 12 months, there's only 24 events. Now you have to cut out the whole month of January and February because you have Chinese New Year and Bulan Puasa and all this
Bulan
sort of stuff.
Puasa.
So we're down to 10 months now. So we're down with 10 months and everybody's got an event that they want to put out. So it's getting harder and harder. So just to avoid our Asian dates is a problem. I'm going to have a problem trying to avoid RAB's dates, NXL dates, and I hate doing that. And mainly it's a Go Sports issue because Go Sports and RAB, I tell you what, NXL Asia will be nowhere without RAB and the support from GI Sports.
Shout
and
out,
Empire.
yeah.
This
Shout
is
out
not just
GI.
an advertising thing. These guys back me up in ways that you will never believe. And for me, I don't know whether a lot of people realize, I went this alone, knowing nothing about the big leagues of running paintball. I mean, the Paul Lums, the TC Guns, these guys have been around 10, 15 years. When I walked in 2017 and decided to do the first NXL event, everyone says, no, you can't do it. You can't beat those guys. You can't do this. Everything's no from the start. I get no.
Who's this?
These are paintball people in general.
Your friends?
Friends who care for you.
People
People like that.
People like that.
People like that. He's not gonna do it. He can. Look, we want to go and play World Cup. We want to. He's not gonna be able to do it. You know, right? But somehow or other, from the business point of view, if you sit down and talk to some business people and RAB and these GI people, they come down numerous times and we sat down. They said, Guch, you are the man for this because you understand a little bit on the back end. Because the important part is to not walk away from this losing as a person. Because then you're not going to do it again. You're like, oh my God, I got burned so badly, I'm not going to do this again. I, for example, go in with this attitude with like, okay, this is what we have to spend on this. This is what we can spend on this. This is what we can spend on this. And that is all that we can spend on it. I don't have enough for this or this or this because the risk of losing all of this is there.
Okay.
There's no certainty. So if we're going to take a risk of losing all of this, then I only want to lose this amount. I'm not going to risk losing this. So I go in with that attitude from the start. And now if we make, great, thank you very much. But if we lose, I've expected to lose only this much. I walk away and I look at it as a marketing and a promotion budget. So let's say if 10,000 bucks that you plan to lose on this, that 10,000 I would gladly spend on a birthday party for 500 people to my house. You think you can get 10 grand of paintballers, 500 guys to come and have a party with you? You can't. So 10 grand was a loss, 15 grand was a loss. I put it and look at it in that sort of way. I get a chance to be. Where I went wrong there is that I didn't realize from the beginning, from the start, there was no time for you to see your friends at your party. So very few, you know what I mean? You see what you need to do. Your friends come to your party to support you, but you are not free to see them. That was my mistake for the first event because I was just so caught up with the back end, trying to make sure every single wire was in a perfect spot. You know, trying to make sure the bunker was aligned properly. I had Rab flying. Rab, check this out. That guy, old man like that, his eyes are sharp. We walked through that first field in Malacca 5 times. Everyone went through. Rab walked through once. Guch, get a drone up there. That and that is in the wrong spot. You can see small angles, you know. So things like that. Then I learned from things like that. And that kind of stuff, to me, really tied me down in Malacca. And I feel a bit of regret. We had everyone come down. I don't know whether you realized Tom Cole was down. Yeah, we had Rab, we had Michael Gento, we had everybody. We had Alan Xiao from Dai, we had Steve Guch from NXL, president. We had Iran president Ako down from there. We had everybody for the world. We had this photograph I can show you, epic photograph of the so-called leaders of paintball in a meeting in the back of my tent. Right, trying to discuss the future of paintball. And I was sitting there and my mind was nowhere in this meeting. I was, okay, food is not here for refs here yet. Okay, refs are having a break. Oh, it's raining, yes, it's pouring, we can't go on.
The operations,
yeah, my head was there and that was my biggest mistake. And from then on I learned, this can never be. I have to be ready and set up before because my job is to make sure I understand what everybody wants at these events. I have to come and talk to you guys, I have to spend time with you guys, and I don't have to ask you directly. I've come to this point in my life, I look at your face, I know you're happy or not happy. I look at your face,
now.
You look all the time. Beat that shit out. No, but I like Khairul because Khairul is a super nice guy. Anything, but when he plays, he goes into Khairul mode, right?
Yes.
He goes into barbarian mode. He's like, Guch, I told you, you promised me there's only 4 prelims. Yeah, why are we playing 6 prelims? And I love that shit. I love that shit. You know, and I was brought back. I was brought back from lunch with Rab and Rich. Bro, Guch, they're freaking. I said, why can't you guys handle this shit? I said, I got a meeting with this guy. No, everyone is freaking out about this. I have to go back. And Rab is in the car. Rab said, just ignore this shit. This happens all the time. I said, no, these are my friends. I'm going to figure it out. Remember that? The one in Rab.
Yeah,
and Rab was like, this, don't go there. Guch, don't go near them. Don't go near Guch, don't do it. Because that's the way they do it, right? I said, no, these are my friends. I'm going to go and sort it out. So I rolled up there and I said, I have to sort it out. What's the problem? So everyone was like, you remember, everyone was standing there, everyone was freaking out. I said, what's the problem? Oh, you wanted to do this and this and this. Just get it done. I remember. No, it was nothing to do with you. It was the back end guys. I said, dude, this is it. You could have just told me over the phone and asked me yes or no. You see, but here's the thing. The decision to do that, this is where we're going to improve from now on, should not be mine. It should not be mine because we have to find this separation from the ruling body and the event organizer. We have to find it. Because if we don't have this separation, then there will always be, now you don't feel it because maybe you're not playing paintball at this point in your life where you start to think of the big picture. But when you start thinking of the big picture, this separation must be there because the persona of the event organizer controlling games must go away.
Yep.
Because I want people to understand that when you come and play an NXL event or any of my events, I have nothing to do with deciding whether you win or you win or you win. I have nothing to do with that. I will make sure that you will have the best conditions for you to do it. Bad reffing, good reffing, these are all human errors and human things. You cannot control that. But what I can control, correct, this is what I can control is I can try to make, given the specific time that we have, the best decisions for you. I will set up, I will walk in. You can know this. I'm the first guy in the field in the morning to make sure we have enough air in the field. Our nets are high enough, our bunkers are in the right place. The right bunkers are set up. The right layout is set up. The right coverage. This is my job. My job is not to go to the ref and say, hey, listen man, those guys are not shooting enough pellets. You know what I'm saying? I think we're not moving enough pallets in this event. Look, I brought a container and we've only shot 5 pallets. Let's make them do another round.
Do you think anyone is doing that?
Look, this is so possible in today's paintball world if you don't have this separation. The referee body must be completely separate from that. The referee body must be able to tell me, you, I'm not going to do that shit. I'm going to walk. All 25 refs, 30 refs are going to walk if you're going to make me go against what I believe in. And every meeting, you can ask every ref I have before the game start. I'm the first guy in the field before Negaraku and I give them a speech. I tell them, you are your own man. In this field, you are the boss. I don't give a shit. You make the decision in the field, but make sure it's kept in the field. I don't want to see shit come out of the field, go into another thing on the Facebook and they're bitching. And then, no, it ends on the field. And people have got to realize that that thing ends on the field. These refs on the field, none of them None of them want to screw you up or screw you up. They don't want to do it. That's not their job. They are there to carry out the rules as best that they can.
Shout out to all marshals.
Shout out to all the marshals and shout out to what they're trying to do now. I feel that every time. The feeling, I don't know whether they realize that, but the last few NXL, the refs are so pumped. They are so pumped to go out and do their job.
Yep.
Right? Jerseys, I put the jerseys out from there. Big risk, we took it. We chiplak 100% NXL jersey. Alright? But
The
with
Malaysian thing.
Hey, but with permission. With permission.
with-
With permission,
So,
right?
with permission, chiplak is
Chiplak.
okay.
No, okay, sorry, let me rephrase. Let me rephrase. With information
what?
after the chiplaking. Oh, by the way, we did that. Okay.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? By the way,
Okay.
that's what we did. So this is the picture, and then you get nice looking picture. So
Do
you know.
you think you got that to happen for the martial bodies?
Okay, again, I'm not going to take anything away from everybody. The marshalling body is trying to work themselves out. I am no person to come in between them and say, look, because of NXL, you're this and this and this. No, these guys have been in the reffing industry so much longer than I have been. They know their problems, they know how and they're trying to fix them right now. I can see it. I don't know whether you realize this, but referees are getting better and better. I wouldn't say they were bad before. They were not bad before. It's just that they lack this direction which they seem to have now, what you have to do. I don't think any ref has had the tournament director, tournament organizer come up to them and say, listen man, I want nothing to do with this. I just want to be able to defend your judgment. When my friend comes to me and says, Guch, there was a bad call. I had this shit. You know, David Barring had a terrible call with Grumpy Cox.
Shout out David Barring.
Barring, you remember that shit? They're still bitching. Listen, this is not any specific example. This is just the last example.
Okay.
Right? Everybody come to bitch to me. Oh, it was a terrible call in the last 20 seconds of the Grumpy versus Kejahatan
DB,
match.
why you do this like DB?
It wasn't the same. It was Shamin, it was Moon, all my friends, guys that I started paintball with, come to me and they were bitching at me. Why did the referee make such a bad call? And I said, tell you what, you guys topped the group. Nobody bitched and nobody was happy about that. No one came to me and said, good refereeing, top me in the group. No one taught me that. You're going to base the whole refereeing based on the last 20 seconds of your game.
Yep.
Good call, bad call. That's it. That's going to happen.
it
Good call,
happens,
bad
yeah.
call. Run through major, minor, whatever. 20 seconds. You had 20 seconds left in the end to save your game. You guys topped the group. You played the 16th guy up there and you had 20 seconds to defend your game. You look within yourself and ask yourself, why are you there first? Right? This I can really answer. I haven't even answered what I thought of the referee's call. I'm just telling you, as a player, as a friend, why are you here? Because if I had to give you a speech to bring you up, if I walked into your tent and I saw you guys down, you're down like 2-1 with 20 seconds left to the 16th qualifier, and you not dropped a match. These guys did not drop a match. They went almost mercied everybody all the way through to top the group. Yep. Then came there, Kejahatan. Hottest game of it. Please don't take anything away from these guys. Kejahatan played the game of their life. Yep. I shit you not. Don't take it away. Izan. ID. I was watching them play. I was like, who the hell are these guys? You know what I mean? Did you see Izan behind the Maya temple? I was like, who is that behind the temple? She was unkillable. They were banging her from left and right. This girl was tight as shit. No one gave her credit for that. She saved the game. Fine. Good call, bad call. Maybe bad call on that day. But why did you bring it up? You know what I'm saying? So, okay, going back to my point again, as in, that was just an example. 20-second point left. Referees have got to find their own way now. If they don't find their own way, they can never grow.
Yep.
If they are forever over this umbrella of like, okay, we're going to survive only if this organizer looks after us, and we're going to look after this organizer. You know what I'm saying? You know? And looking after us is so easy. We can switch ref rounds all the time. I say, I don't want Zaki, I don't want this guy, I don't want to put these two in field 2. Because I want, not that I'm going to fix the game in any sort of way, but I'm just going to put these refs that are not as sharp on this field to watch. Issei, for example, who yesterday told me, he said, I why? I why? It's not my job. It's not my job to call myself out.
It's a skill.
Okay, sorry, but I thought it was a great interview until we reached that point. It's like, huh? So it's not my job to call myself out. Okay,
You don't
fine.
agree with that lah?
Okay, let's see. Whether I agree or don't agree, again, I don't want to set an example. It's a bad example to set on camera. To say that wiping is acceptable in our community. Yes, it's bad to wipe. Yes, it's great to get away with it. But for the young people that are getting into the sport right now, and we're trying to teach them the right way to do it, this is not the way to go to Europe and try to get away with the European refs there, because it's pretty obvious when they go there, you see the 2 for 1, 1 for 1, 2 for 1, 1 for 1, every bloody point. Why? Because they are much sharper at catching and wiping.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I don't wipe. During training, everyone wipes during training and all that. I wipe. I wipe my, you know where I wipe? You know what? I wipe my before I get into training, and I'm going to stick it in your face. That's what I do. But listen.
Well, he doesn't do it anymore.
I know, he doesn't do it anymore,
Yeah.
but the fact remains, there's some young guy would go on and say, hey, this is the greatest snake player in Malaysia of all time, and he just wiped twice to win a game against Rascal. Maybe I can train, instead of becoming a better snap shooter or a better this or a better that, maybe I better learn how to wipe.
That's what you got from what he said.
That's what I got.
Okay.
So I thought maybe, yeah. Some things, like I said, you asked me today, what should I beep, beep, beep? But I said, you don't beep anything out.
Okay.
This is why people don't like me.
Okay.
They line up to hate me.
All right.
I'm used to it.
Yeah. Regarding what you said, mentioned on the first app.
Yeah.
For you personally, for Guch.
I saw some of it, all right? So
Okay.
I hope I got all of it.
Yeah.
He told me that
He said,
Yeah.
I asked, kenapa Nemesis tak main
NXL.
NXL?
Yeah.
Because the prize money
was not good enough.
was not, well, he didn't see that. He said, if I win, I spend 44, 45 boxes, right? That's around 9K-ish. I don't know.
9K an event, correct.
All right. And then you win 5K.
Yes.
All right. Even though you win first place, you lose 4,000.
Correct.
And then if you do that for 3 events, 4
Correct.
times 3 is 12.
Correct.
So you would lose
16,000.
12K.
12K. Three events.
You
yeah,
would
yeah.
lose 12K.
I mean, that's
even
not
though-
registration included.
Yeah.
That's not accommodation included.
Yeah.
There's nothing
and
included.
Then, so he suggested, because he said you don't believe in subsidized paint, you don't believe in sponsored paint and everything.
No.
But he said, what if you could do something like my NPL did? If all of the podiums, when they win,
Yes.
they get paints for the next round.
Yes.
They get free registration.
For the next round.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. I want to know what you think about that.
Yeah.
And I want to know your comments
Okay,
on what you...
here's the thing. I've always been a big proponent of doing things a new way, not an old way. So this is one of those things that people told me, no, you're not going to get any teams play if you don't give them free paint.
Who
You're not
said
going to
that?
get, oh man.
A lot of people.
A lot of people told me that, you know, especially my first event, the Malacca event. And, you know, it's like, ay, jangan. And I have to keep telling myself, don't shake, man. You have to keep with this. Because Tom Cole gave me this advice. Rab gave me this advice. If you give one to your friend, you have to give to the next friend. Because they're all your friends, all right? And I'm not going to give Khairul 2, but not give Baboon. I'm not going to answer those. I'm not even going to answer those questions. Because the fact remains, I'm going to do this. When I was called to do this, I was called to do this by a
By who?
community of paintballers.
Okay.
All right?
To do
They
what?
know to
NXL?
set up
NXL?
NXL.
Okay, sorry.
And I was told, well, not specifically NXL, but to take over and do a good event.
Faham.
This is what I was put together. A task was put upon me, and everyone that sat on the table will probably watch and read this. You guys can put a little like on this when I say this. You put me down and said, we want a good event. We're done with playing with crap events. This is what this was specifically told. We're done with playing crap events. We want a good event, and we've decided that in all of Malaysia, you were the only guy to. And before that, I had only dabbled in events. I had we'd done Renegade with Kusa. We'd done some Canyon Paintball events. We'd done little stuff like that. But this magnitude, never done before. And they said, you are the guy to do it. And I was like, okay, if I'm going to do it, I need your support. I'm not going to run the event the way the older guys did it. These are guys from the past, MPOC, WCA, NPL, those guys, because I saw the flaw in the way they organize events. You tell me which of those events are still around today, right? That's one way of looking at it. And you can blame police, you can blame players, you can blame everything, whatever you want. But I have my own reasons why they're not around anymore today. And for me, I believe that these events like NXL and the coming MXBL that we're going to do will live on for as long as we want it to live on, because the model that they're built on is not one built on, and people will say, he just wants to make money from the events. The fact remains, to set up these events in the way that you want it to, there's no way that any amount of money a sponsorship can give you will pay for this event. I'll tell you why. I give you $1 million, Guch, I'll set you up. This is what they had in the past. I give you $1 million, Guch. You set up an event for me. I said, what, me? You know how my answer will be? I can't spend $1 million. It's not going to cost $1 million to set up these 3 events. Okay? Now, from here, you have to find something I say. Because Money like that has been offered to previous organizers. Has any of you seen any $1 million events in Malaysia or not? Even though the money was given, because you know why? The money comes around the side, goes into the pocket, and they'll give you an event which I will set up for you. By the players, for the players, cash by the players, and we decide now which route you want to take. Khairul decides now, I don't like Guch, tomorrow will calls me up. I think this is wrong, we have to do it. If I feel that's valid, let's view this way and let's go up this way. Amir calls me up, for example, hey, I don't think this is right, Guch, we can do it. If I look at it and I feel there's something, no, we can go in this direction. We want to have, for example, I don't want to have a political event. I don't want to have to sit at an event all day long and politicize a party, for example. I don't have to do it. Because you know why? This event is for paintballers. And I feel the passion for the games when the players play these events. I've seen people go and play events that are not like this. Funded events, events with money, events that the prize money is 10,000, 20,000, whatever it is, right? It's not like this. I dare tell you, we have got, since the inception of NXL, we have had more D1 open teams play than ever before. Not one of those teams are sponsored by anyone. 10 teams every time. Back in those days, NPOC, NPL, 4 teams. Rascal, Demons.
All the top tiers.
Who else? MacDev, Ronin. Who can tell me the names of those 4 teams, 5 teams? Nemesis. Those are the only teams in open. No one else goes up. Since the inception of NXL, we have 10 teams every event, standard. Why is that so? One of the reasons is these guys are all coming in with their own money. Now, I answered this question quite well that Issei said, why can't you sponsor us a little bit to go? I do sponsor. We're just sponsoring a different way. This year, after 3 seasons, we have given the people that stuck 6 guys together Paint Palace for 2020 season. Did Riot get it? Riot got it, I think.
Riot got it.
Because you guys kept the same roster for 3 events. We give you paint for doing that. Thank you because you contributed by staying together. Why would I even bother to give something like that?
Thank you.
But that is a measure of your team's success. You did something and you deserve it. What else did we do? We gave development teams free paint. They turn up. Between that and the Imperial Program paint, Imperial Program teams get 3 boxes each, right? Imperial Program teams and that we move almost a skid of free paint, believe it or not. Where's the free paint? Because no one will know this. There is a development division in NXL Asia that takes new players that has absolutely no experience. People say, why you want to do that? I'll tell you why you want to do that. We want to develop new players. Free. Registration tak bayar, ID tag tak bayar. Till today, I still get guys from Johor asking me, actually we owe you some money from development. They say, no, you owe me nothing. You got a medal. That medal costs 15 ringgit or 16 ringgit each, you know. I tell you, okay? And a trophy.
From the development team, did any of the team can play?
Plenty of people. Not as teams, but as individual players.
Individuals.
It's impossible. You know how hard it is to set up a team, but I've already succeeded when I can see one guy in each division to move out already. I considered untung already. Yep. This guy has got enough passion to come up. And you see, I don't know whether you noticed, I got some photographs you can see from our Selangor event. Crying to win development.
The school, right?
The school training. They train for 4 months. I sponsored the training. This kind of thing I will sponsor at any time because you know why? We're developing. But if I'm going to sponsor you to turn up to play at the event, and I'm sorry to say, the value that you bring is you're just going to bring another D1 team to the event that would beat everyone and take the money home, and then promote me on Facebook. Oh, good event. Thank you very much. Good event. Great job. Go home.
And that's it.
And that's it. To me, that's the way I look at the value. Come and sell me a story that I can use because this is my vision. And people say, oh yeah, I heard that. He called me a genius. I'll tell you why genius, probably, because I told this to him. My vision for teams is to take my event, the NXL, and use it as a showcase to go out and get your own sponsorship. Go out to your corporate sponsor and say, this is what I play. It's been organized by this person, it's been organized in these places, and this is our turn up. I have all the numbers for you. I will build you your portfolio before the end of the year. You take this portfolio, you walk into Lucozade, you walk into Adidas, you walk into Nike, you walk into KBS, walk in everywhere and say, this is where I play. We need to be sponsored, we're a Malaysian team. Please take that money and channel it back to me because I need it to keep running these events. And that's how we do it. People like to use examples of other sports, right? Anybody knows the NBA tournament. The most expensive players in the world, the NBA. What do they get for winning each event? Does anybody know?
A ring.
Huh?
A ring.
A ring, right? You know how much it costs to make that goddamn ring? That's all you get. How much money do you think it
I
costs
want a
to put
ring.
those guys?
Guch.
I'll get you a ring next year.
Yes.
You guys get rings next year.
but-
Series champions. Right?
Series champion, yes.
Yeah.
We have to
Rings.
start winning lah.
Look, another example. Okay, again, big example. How can you compare? Because you see, people like to compare certain parts of certain. I can compare any team sport and tell you that their prize money for winning the event is nothing. But these people have already the right idea. They take that, they go to Nike and they use it and they get their money from there.
Farm, yep.
You understand? Just like Formula One. How much money do you think the Formula One teams get at the end of the year for what they spend? Right?
I think what you want all these teams to use you.
That's right.
Use
Use me.
yes.
Use me. Use what we have put together for you. Use these beautiful images that are free online.
Yes.
I pay 1 month and I have to take these pictures for you to stick it into a portfolio. Do some work. God damn it. Walk into the. You know what I mean?
Some word, God damn it.
I cannot give you 10 free boxes of paint where actually by right, if you have some smarts in you, you'd pick this up and you'd walk into a sponsor. Find a sponsor. Mana ada, kita dah coba dah. I'm telling you now, I'm living proof that everyone told me that this way would not work. Here we are, second season. You know how hard it was for me to sell to guys like Khairul
Sell what?
and Babu. I sold you guys. You know why? These guys played for free as well last time. Demons played for free.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Everyone played for free. Khairul now comes up with money to play for paintball. I take my hat off to these guys.
What?
Baboon does too. They come up with money to play. These guys, this one's so free. Lost Boys. I sold all these people. Every weekend come out, buy a box of pallets and train. And you know what you get from me from that? Every week you get my respect.
Lunch.
Because it's yours. You get lunch. Hey, you get more than lunch. You get this shit.
Lunch, Canyon, ayam penyet
Exactly.
every Sunday.
I just want people to see that we have to get out of this mentality that we are in order to go back to the mentality that we were in a better way. Because I think the way it was done before was wrong. Right now, we need to understand, we need to get a bit hungry now. We need to get a bit hungry. Dude, I want to play this event. This guy puts on a good show. The whole world is watching. Do you think it's cheap to get Arthur Donzanski out here from Ghost Spots to shoot
out
a video? Arthur, what's up? People like that, Rab, Nixon. It costs me money to bring them out here.
Yep.
And that is brought out here for you to use. So please look at it in another sort of way. The easy way would be you give me 20 boxes of pallets. Then is baloi lah. Aku dapat 5,000, aku champion. Baloi. Worth it. That's the easy way to do it. That's the way they did it before. Every single D1 team get 20 boxes each. Then between one of you, you all win. But I don't make money from this division. Those days, the D2, D3, D4 was huge. That's where they make money from those guys. Right? But right now, I dare lah. One team from anywhere. Kamikaze Kings. You got free boxes berapa from me this year? Huh? How many boxes did you get? Riot Crew, how many boxes did you get? You get 3 boxes in event from Imperial Program sponsored by Steve
Imperial
Rabakoff.
Program.
Right? They
Shout
put those
out.
3 boxes in. They're
Shout out
sponsored by the...
Imperial.
Yeah.
We got one.
Just the final one, bro.
Where got final? Every event you got 3.
Hell no.
Every event you get 3.
I don't know.
Somebody is taking the boxes and selling them.
Jason's doing that.
I send it 3 boxes every event. Every event. Jane gets 3 boxes from Red 7s. Wise guys get 3 boxes from Red 7s. Anarchy Legion just joined. They get 2 boxes. Those guys became champion. NXL Asia and Johor Bahru. Who would have picked those guys to?
Is GI still looking for teams for Imperial?
Every year. But the problem is the GI Imperial program is a little bit messed up in that the back end organization of this stuff is a little bit slow. Jerseys come out here 4 months after you order them. Hey, you didn't get your boxes this year from Riot Crew?
I only know we only got it for the last leg.
No, every leg you got 3 boxes.
No, we
are
gotta check.
marked.
We gotta check.
You better check.
Maybe we did.
You better check.
Maybe we did.
We have it in black and white because we keep good records, man.
Okay. Chill the fuck down.
Chill. No, this kind of thing I need to know. You see, like I said, this kind of thing we need to know. Any
Okay.
better? Yeah. Next question.
Next question.
Belum panas lagi, right?
Oh no. You still haven't said your comments to what Issei said.
Yeah. So that was part of it, right? So okay. Yeah, I'm trying to explain.
And then the podium.
Why.
If would you do that? Podium winners get paints and registration for the next event?
No.
No. No. That's it.
We will probably we'll work something out with teams. Again, I like to work something out where it's proactive, where you have to do something. I like this idea where if you stick 6 guys together in your team for the roster for the year, I give you something for that, and that will work out to the following year. Yeah, I like to, like, for example, register early. For example, for the event, register early with your roster filled up. I'll give you something for that. You got to do something for it, not just roll up and sign up 1 week before the event and get free paintballs in. You know.
Fun.
You understand? So yeah, we will do something like that, but it's not what you think. It's not the traditional old way of getting free paint to, you know. And here I'm also working on sponsorship for everyone, not just for the events. The events itself, right now, our model pretty much pays for it. It goes. I'm happy to say that we don't need money to fund a setup. All right, the setup pretty much at our budget. We can set up 2 nice fields. We own a lot of infrastructure now. We spend, again, this is another problem. Whoever is partnered with me, that's why it's very hard to partner with people. Because instead of keeping money and spending it, jolly kata, pergi gambling ke apa, I buy infrastructure. We got new bunkers, we got new scoreboard. I don't know whether anyone realize this, but Field 2 got a full scoreboard up this time, right? So both sides have a full scoreboard up. And of course, they have to release the brand new LED scoreboards just after we buy them. This is always the... Did you see them at NXL releasing the new scoreboards? They're all beautiful LED scoreboards.
Sorry to cut you off.
Can.
All right, let's ask number 6 and number 7 very fast. Go ahead. So, how is it like working with GI and NXL? Personally, working with Rap, Telford, and Soviet. Very
Thank you
fast.
so much. I will really fast. I mean, I don't have to, because every event I thank them. Thank you so much just have to say thank you to these guys for like being really the backbone of my event. I mean, you know, it's like having, I give you this feeling. It's like when you play paintball with the back guys that you are comfortable with, and like, these are your superstar back guys, and that you go into the event, these are my back guys. When these guys have my back, I go in, I feel indestructible. You feel like every point is like, it's ours to lose. I got these guys behind me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's how I feel when Sloviak and all these guys are behind. Rich Telford, for example, he plays our 10-man. He's a regular on our 10-man, and that's just his feeling. When Rich Telford gears up and he opens the net for you and you walk in with him, you're indestructible. The 10-man, I play next to him too. I was like, we're not going to lose. And when he turns up at my event, this guy, I have to you know.
Who?
Rich, for example, or Rap. These
off.
guys
Big down.
you don't realize how, a lot of the new players don't realize how big these guys are in the industry. They've shaped the industry that we're in today. And they can still take time off to fly out here and talk to ABC in development division and talk on my live little shitty camera and have no ass. We go out and eat Chinese food at night, bad stomach, all this shit. Thank you so much, man. I'll forever be grateful for this. For better, for worse. Next.
Okay, we have a question that came to Facebook, or I don't know who.
Anonymous question. Is this the one?
No. This is from a viewer that Amir doesn't know him. Okay. Any plans for D4 and D5 exclusive divisions for NXL?
Yeah.
Because Open Mac seems like a big jump from the development division. Go ahead.
That is like a brilliant question. That's one of the best questions today. The thing is, yes, because you know why? It's been on my mind.
Thanks.
A lot of people ask, why don't we have D3, D4 and do it the traditional way? Now here's the problem. A lot of Malaysians, Asians in general, not Malaysian, because when NXL Asia was developed for all of Asia, are not in the APA PBLI system. And that is the global ranking system for paintballers. A lot of guys have been playing paintball 10 years and have a 0 PBLI ranking. My objective was to try and gather as many people into this so that we can properly start ranking Asians. So we know who we are, who the Terry Lees are, who the Aznans are, who am I, who are you, and who's, I know who you are. But if I were in the US, for example, and Khairul and Azahari were like gun for hire, you know what I mean? And I want to go and play.
Every event, gun for hire.
Gun for hire, right?
Every event, gun for hire.
Yeah, but I have to beg them to play with us. I was like, 10 events later, Khairul's like, okay, Guch, I'll join you.
You need those pairs.
Yeah, so I was like, so this was my idea before. And when I looked at the APA rankings when we set up the divisions, I realized there was this big hole for us in that D3, D5, because almost all Malaysians were D3 to D5, no matter where you played. So I wanted to bring, and they were obviously not playing at that level, D5, D4. Malaysians are probably amongst the best paintballers in Asia right now. You take an average D3 Malaysian and you go in Indonesia or you go to Singapore or you go to Taiwan or anywhere, you'd kill, right? Because you are so much higher. So I figured that time, what I want to do is gather everybody together. Now the other thing, the reason why MEC was developed as open, and a lot of people say, this is a terrible division because traditionally MEC has always been D4, D5. I said, MEC is not a division. It's not a ranking, it is just a different division. People play mechanical paintball all over the world. It's just a different gun. Why should you be a D4 player and still play mech? I was like, open players play Mac as well. All these guys in the US, Bob Long and all that, they still play Mac. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to leave that open so that everybody could come and play. And alhamdulillah, it's been successful. We have 7, 8, 9, 10 teams sometimes playing the Mac division, where you would have in the same thing D4 playing Mac, the same amount of teams, probably 7, 8, 9, 10, but you'd be only D4. Well, right now you go in and compete. Okay, this is something that we can still sit down and argue about, that maybe we still need a D4 and D5. I agree. The thing is, we are at this, I felt that I've been given this initiative to move Asian paintball up so that we can reach this level, because the truth is none of us are getting younger. My batch of players are on the way out already. Okay? Khairul, all these guys, we're on the way out already.
No, we're not.
How long?
I'm not.
All right.
I still got 5 years.
Okay, 5 years is on the way out. 10 years. The thing is, how long do you want to play D3, D4, D5 before you are ready to go to Europe and play in the big leagues, in US, in other leagues around the world? I needed to move people up quickly in the rankings so that we could go out competitively. And it's not just the ranking, to play competitively. I wanted to move these D3 guys up and start playing against the D2 guys and practicing at that level so that their game could get high enough and that their ranking at D3 could still go to Europe and US and still compete. Right now, for example, if you so-called semi-pro or D1, you go and play in Europe or US, Sayo, I'm sorry to say, no matter what you think of what point that you won at what time in the schedule, in general, the scores are clear. You are not ready to play with them. And the guys that you play against, they're not even the top level guys. Yeah, you can come back and argue, oh yeah, they were 2018 champion. Paintball is paintball. If you are in that ranking, D1 ranking, which they don't have anymore in Europe, but in the US or whatever it is, those guys live there. Those guys breed there and those guys kill there. And we come from our open division, which is, let's be honest with you, D3 level. This is what I have spoken with a lot of Rab and Sloviak and all these people. D3, D2 lah, our top team. Masuk D2, we can fight lah. Tapi semi-pro D1,
we're not there yet.
I'm not sure. So my directive, this is why I set up and said, was to push people, all the so-called D3, D2, all up into a box to figure out who amongst us is good enough to set up teams to go up there and play. Hey, don't want to give me credit? No problem. But this year, more Malaysians have gone to play in Europe than I've ever seen before in my life.
Agree.
No more.
Shout out to all the teams.
You don't want to give me credit? No problem. But I tell you what, you came to NXL Asia and almost half of them went on our ticket. 50% of registration came from us. All right? Whether you want to admit it or not, I wrote the letters, I know. All right? So it came from us.
Okay.
All right, next.
So
that's why.
So yes, D4, D5,
considering, under consideration, but maybe as a feeder league to the NXL. Not because no one would play with you. Okay. D4, D5. No one would play with you. Yes.
Should pros be allowed to play NXL Asia?
There is a provision for pros to play in D1. Okay, and the open division is D1. It's called open division, but if you look in the NXL rulebook, our open division is actually D1. So if I'm not mistaken, 2 pros are allowed to play in D1. I follow the NXL rulebook, 2019 and 2020 when it comes. So if 2020 is a provision that does not allow pros to go down, we don't, but we just follow the rulebook. So the rulebook will allow it. Like D2, for example, there's a provision for semi-pro to play. There is, it's in there. You can pick the guy. So we just follow the thing. Your question is should or are we following the rules? Should, yes, definitely. But not a whole team of pros because they have a pro division. So if a pro wants to come down and play D1, for example, that's fine. But within the rules, I definitely agree.
Like Australia?
Like Australia. But Australia, do they have a provision for the number of pros?
No.
No, right?
In the Super
is that
7,
maximum 2? Super 7 allows as many pros as they want.
Many.
Yeah. So I think maybe
but
that will be. But they call it pro division though.
Yeah, but our teams, do we have the funds to bring the pro down? Kan? Sebab nak bayar pin pun tak boleh?
Yeah.
Kan nak bayar
pro should 13.
Division 1, 2 and 3.
Okay, the reason why I chose not to use D1, D2, D3 before, one was because again, we wanted to go our own way. And when I said open before, I want people to know that you are playing in an open division. Because in Malaysia, when you play the open division, I'm not even going to ask you what division you are when you go and play it. Ini orang semi-pro ke apa?
But you check apa?
We do check apa. No, you can't register. That's the beauty about apa. The moment when I set up apa, there's no open Amateur, I have to set it up as D1, D2, D3, D4. So when I set up the upper, it's D1.
So tak ada apa-apa.
I walked into that one. Tonk. I just went, whoa, I didn't realize. I would have, that's kind of a stupid question from Khairul. I should have backed up. That guy was going to set me up there. All right, I got you. I'm going to get you in before the end of the day.
So
So that's why.
going back, follow the rule lah.
We try to follow the rule as best we can. But again, the rule cannot be followed 100% in Malaysia because, again, for timing, for example, we're in a Muslim country, we have prayer times,
Assalamualaikum.
we have Friday times, we have players of different cultures. So we have to make provisions for that within the rule book. So those are actually in subsections. I don't know whether anybody realizes this, you guys have not, but everyone will take a chance. At every event, I have a 7-man committee. 7 people from different divisions, and they are a 7-man committee in a WhatsApp group. And we use this group to handle emergency situations. So for example, if we have an emergency situation like APA does not allow a D1 player to go down to D2, for example, in the D2. They don't allow that. But in the rule book, it allows. You cannot register Kerrigan then into Kamikaze Kings or something. I can't remember. It was Moya or one of those. Terry. It was Terry. Terry couldn't register into the D2 with Kamikaze Kings before. But after referring to the rule book, they allow for that. But we couldn't do it. But I still took it to a vote. So we put a vote. The question is very simple. Yes or no only. The vote doesn't require an explanation in the rule book. Are we going to allow D2 players, D1 players on APA into D2? Rulebook NXL Asia 2019 says yes, and then everybody answers. So the vote wins. That's the way we do it. And we've used that many times on certain rules, and everybody is required to have their WhatsApp on during games. We do use it. I would say this year at least 5 times. Ben has been on, Chip has been on, Mohsin has been on, guys like that. ID has been on, Moon has been on, guys like that. So next round, we're going to get Khairul. I have to put people who understand rules so that you don't have to search the rule book and like, oh, faham ke tak faham. Or some people who just say, does the rule book say yes, then yes lah. You have to a little bit understand the rule book, right? Some people will do that, whatever,
Faham? All right. Next. A new question from Arif Nemesis.
Oh, okay. This guy hates me. I love that.
This is a yes and no answer.
Yes or no only?
Yes, you don't have to explain.
Okay.
All right. Do you support NPF?
Yes, definitely.
That's it?
This year, okay, but I can explain more. This year more than last year.
So if he asked last year, no.
Last year it would have been maybe. This year, yes, definitely. I support the movement because I need this MPF to survive because this has to go on, but the direction has got to be correct. And I like the direction that it's going into now. I've had many meetings with Alizan and Loco and these guys. I think it's going in the right spot because this stuff is out of my hands. For example, it's out of my hands. A decision needs to be made, you know what I mean? We have been on our own boat for too long, this Canyon Paintball boat, which you guys have been on too. We have sailed off. I don't know whether anyone realizes this. It sounds arrogant, right? But the Canyon Paintball boat sailed off 2013 and we've been on our own way. We've been away from everybody else. We've lived on, we've survived. It's like one of those movies, right, where people say there's nothing that lives past these trees. Waterworld. There's no land. There's no land. But David Guch said, you follow me on this boat, I will bring you to land. You remember that? Huh?
Kevin Costner looking for sand.
Well, yeah, he was looking for sand. Yeah, and I got this, flip fingers.
Okay, very fast. You want to tanya? Kita tanya.
You got your answer.
Yes, definitely.
Nombor 8, very fast.
Okay, a bit about MXBL.
MXBL. Okay, again, this MXBL is a feeder league to the NXL. I always wanted to do this. It's actually targeted more towards our community on our boat, for example. It's targeted towards that because too often I've heard this, and this is the truth. Too often, to ask me to name one name to say or so, I find it hard. But it's happened so much that they want to play a better local league. This is what I've been asked to do. And as instead of again
going, the local league is not bad. It's not good.
I haven't played it, so I wouldn't know. But from what I've heard, it's terrible.
Damn it!
I've not played. Not even one local league I've played. I've never played one EPS event.
Have you seen it? Have you been to an event?
I've not even been to an EPS event because I'm not in good terms with the event organizer. Event organizer doesn't like me, and I also, not the biggest fan. So I normally don't need to turn up, right? So again, I'm not saying the event itself is terrible. I just don't like the organizer and the way they organize the events. And from the feedback that I have heard, of course, again, on my boat, our boat, the feedback could be different from feedback everywhere else. It's just that it's, it's just average. So I've been tasked, again, to have something for them to play, right? Something else for them to play. And the MXBL, I figured it's time for me to give back our profits from Canyon Paintball, if we do have in 2020, back to the league.
The 3,000 that you have lah.
That's NXL.
Okay.
At Canyon Paintball. So this would be a more Canyon, because it will always be in Canyon Paintball. So that's where I save on location. That's where I save on transpo. That's where I save on infrastructure. That's where I'm going to try and build up new refs, for example. That's where we're going to test new systems. That's where we're going to hopefully start building better players from within our own community. So I'm hoping, this is going to be some radical shit. I'm going to let you in on something right now. We're going to roster 6 only.
6 only, not 10?
Yeah, no.
You told me 10 that day.
No, 10, yeah, you have to pay for the 10. 6, you get at the registration fee. You want to tambah to 10, $100 one card each. I'm going to force 6 people to play together.
He's only allowing 6
Yeah.
players
In the roster.
in the
No,
roster.
you want 10, you can, but you pay lah.
You have to pay lah.
6 is free. 7, 8, 9, 10.
You have to
you
pay.
pay lah 100 ringgit.
Okay, but the idea is that, the
why
idea is this. I want actually the big teams to start splitting up and picking up other guys to play with them. The reason is it's going to be so cheap to play, it's going to be worth it for you to help bring this thing in. The competition will still be there, the feeling will be still there, but the idea is that too often I've seen this, and I keep using AC Dallas as an example. The whole 2018 season, they played with 5 guys. They gel so well together that now they are like a force that is podium lah. They're like a podium team lah. Every Sunday, if AC Dallas is not there, you'd be like surprised. But they did it with 5, 6 guys. Greg Pauly forced them to play together. And I believe this is the right way to do it. You have a big roster like Riot, Black Hawk has a huge roster. Wise Guys, we have a pretty big roster as well. And we are always struggling to feel the next guys at the event. Who's going to feel? Who's got the budget mind lah, whatever it is. But now, I'm going to force you to play together. The 5 of you, the 6 is for injury uni. Or you want to rotate. The way Wise Guys rotate is that first out gets rotated. You get shut out, you're the one that's being rotated, his spot. Huh? So if somebody goes out, oh shit. You got to play snake, you know what I mean? So it's kind of fun in that way. But I'm going to try, and this is, you heard it here first, I'm going to try and force everyone to play. It's not a money-making scheme. It is a scheme that is going to be put around completely towards improving our level of paintball so that we, when we go to NXL, teams from Canyon Paintball, this is the weird thing about being me right now. I have to wear so many different hats. I got to be
Hats
NXL.
are not weak.
Yeah, I wish I could wig. I got to think as an NXL Asia organizer. Then I got to think as the Canyon Paintball Park president. And what I want for the teams there to improve, to go and play at NXL at a better level, so that those guys there can go to Europe and US and compete like properly. Like we turn up there and just like, who the hell are these guys? You know what I mean? This is what we want to see. So this is where I'm hoping it's going to take some time, but I believe that this is, we have to start somewhere, and if it's not this year, it's next year. But if these 5, 6 guys can find a way to band together, the most unlikely people, probably 5 fullers are going to do well together. And it's going to prove a theory that I have, that a huge roster does not necessarily mean a fantastic team. So that's, part of it is to prove a theory. So that's where we might find the feeder like D4, D3, come back in again. Because we want to split up, like say Khairul, for example, Khairul, Baboon, few guys, 5 guys together. But that still leaves Aban Nazri, that still leaves Jason Ya, that still leaves a whole bunch of guys free. Like Wise Guy, if I put 5 guys together, that's still going to leave Daniel, that's still going to leave a lot of other guys, Jimal, are free to go and pick up another 4 other guys, or ladies, for example, they're going to pick up. So this is and this is what I'm going to spend my time promoting. Come on guys, pull these guys together, pull these guys together. I don't care if I run with 5 teams in the first event. That's not my intention, because we're running in-house at Canyon. I don't have any bills other than my rent to make sure that I pay, because when you run one of these big events out, there is a certain quota. If I don't hit a minimum number of teams, I'm going to be hit badly. Now I don't care. What do we have every Sunday? 10, 12, 15 teams, right? If I get that, it's the same Sunday for me, right? And we were going to make, like I say, race to 3, Mercy 3 only.
Mercy 3 only.
Mercy 3, 8
Okay,
minutes,
so
fast. One day event.
this is what I know. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So 2 MXBL events, legs
Four per division.
per division.
Correct.
So it's going to be held only at Canyon Paintball.
Only at Canyon Paintball. Well, okay, I don't want to say only at Canyon Paintball, but within a paintball park that will not require me to pay a rental.
Faham? Okay.
So to keep it cheap for the players,
Okay,
right? So if Mud Tracker wants to do it, for example, Calvin was itching last year to do an event, this year to do an event. Say, look, Muchik might, say, look, you guys can take this thing as a model and just use it. Look, it's free. It's not, I'm not going to charge you like whatever it is. The idea is we're going to play MX, Malaysian X-Ball League. We're going to play X-Ball.
Okay.
That's the only condition I have. And you must follow these conditions. 5, 6 players, all this crazy shit. You know what I mean?
You're saying it's cheap. How cheap is going to be comparing to the...
Well, let me work the numbers out. We don't even have our paint in yet. But listen, again, I'll be straight with GI
What paint are you
Sports.
selling?
I'll be straight with GI Sports. This may not be a GI event. This may be an event to help another paintball seller in the region. All right? This might be that. This is the idea. I've always told Rap that, listen, I have to be friends with everybody in the region. It's not NXL because they sponsor me. They send me stuff, bunkers, they send me Rap and all that. I have to keep it GI, right? Just for the Go Sports also, it's worth it. It's untung. But for MXBL, this is an in-house event. It's time for us to like broaden our horizons. Yeah.
Okay, so 2 events, two legs
For each division, yeah.
for each division. 1 day event.
1 day event, yes. Turn up in the morning and go back in the evening.
Limited slots for each division.
Limited, very, very limited.
10 slots, correct?
Probably less.
Probably.
Yeah.
So-
Look, if we do 5 prelims, that'll be more than enough. So 6 teams in open, 6 teams in D2, 12 teams
So
for the
6
day.
teams.
Yeah,
You're looking at
probably.
6, okay.
And I can really see the 6 teams at Canyon.
Yeah.
You
And
know, easily.
first come, first serve basis lah.
First come, first serve. But
Okay.
I think, and it will be an APA event. So,
APA event, okay.
Okay, here's the thing about the APA. This
APA
year,
lagi.
this one quickly. If you want to cut, you can cut. You want to go.
APA lagi you
But this
mau.
APA thing kena a few times already. Macam Red Sevens pergi main Europe, nak main D3, tapi because of NXL Asia, they have all gone up to D2. All of you status have also all gone up because I pay and I update, pay and update.
Yep.
So your statuses are all up, you know. So this is also a problem. When we start playing more events like this, you have to consider this. Your standard is going to start going closer and closer to the world. And you might be D1, semi-pro, whatever it is by next year. But you would have done it by playing a shitload of events, not just buta. I have got a godlike password which I can go and change anything so you want. But
change not mine.
what do you want to change? D4? Okay, here's another thing. If you ever caught cheating on the APA, it's strict. They will ban you forever.
Ban for life.
Ban.
So
So please don't set up a new account. I know who you are. Don't change your face. Don't do that. No, don't do it.
no,
We know who you are.
I know some also. I know some. Okay, so
Who
that's
cares?
MXBL.
MXBL.
More info will come from you.
Yes, directly.
Okay.
First event probably in January, so get ready.
Okay. You also have a 10-man mounts event.
I'm looking forward to that shit because I'm going to hand that over to somebody
Okay,
and
what
I'm
is
going to
it?
play the shit out of it.
What is
Okay,
it now?
it will be, I mean, it's this recent resurgence in the US of people playing 5.5 balls per second, slower rate of paintball, but more people playing. So it's actually Baloy. Organizer still sells paint, but we spread our costs between 10 people instead of 5 or 6. And we play a slightly longer game and it's not race or mercy. So it's kind of untung. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set up a 10-man field and we're going to play like Iron City Classic, but we can't follow exactly. They're crazy. Iron City Classic, they play 12, 13, 14 prelims. We can't do it in Malaysia. We'll probably end up playing 4 or 5 prelims. The 10 teams from Malaysia, from Canyon probably, we have probably enough. We will play, and that will be in July at Canyon Paintball. And it's always been something I'm going to do. It's going to be called Canyon Cup. I already promoted this 2 years ago. And it's Canyon Cup I will force the shit out of everybody to play together. You speed ball, you rag ball, you what ball lah.
If you don't have a Mac marker, you can use
Mac marker is uncapped.
uncapped.
Speedball marker is 5.5. Blowpipe is uncapped. you want to bring your blowpipe? You bring your blowpipe.
M10 with flag
That's
in the
right.
middle.
M10 with flag in the middle. Simple rules. Down in our valley field. I mean, come over and have a look. It's a beautiful field because we have this fantastic view from above. And I'm going to allow like yelling from the top. You just shout lah down whatever you want.
Okay,
we'll
that's
go
good.
back to old school
July,
style.
eh?
Yeah, July,
July.
definitely.
Okay.
Looking forward to that.
July Canyon Cup.
Canyon Cup. It'll be an MXBL event. And
Oh.
it'll be an MXBL event because it will be APA registered.
I see.
And also, Muchik probably is going to do a 3-man version of it as well.
All right. Number 13. Let's
13. Let's go. You only number 13. 28.
No,
right?
skip.
Chang, chang, chang.
We're skipping.
Pick out the good ones.
As a field owner and organizer,
Yes.
what can you do to reduce the pellet price?
Okay, here's the thing. Prices of pellets, I think it's been said before, has come down greatly. Some people were telling me back in the 2003, 2004, they're paying $700-800 a wall.
I paid 800
I think right now the pellets are too cheap actually.
What?
The fact remains, for speedball market, it's too cheap. $200 a box of pellets to go out there, a team of 4 fellas to enjoy infrastructure that costs $250,000 is probably too cheap. So here's what I feel that we can do to reduce the cost of pellets. Get more players to play with you. Buy the same box of pellets and share it with more people. Because I don't think paintball pellets are going to get any cheaper in the next 5 years to come.
Depending on what pellet you shoot lah.
That's right. That's also true. If we change, for example, yes, that's also a good point. I have to change my hat now and look at Canyon Paintball as a business and what people are wanting to shoot. If they say, look, we can't afford anymore to pay $200 for GI spots anymore, we want cheaper paint, for example, we want gel caps, or we want one of those other brands that will be much cheaper to shoot, then I would have to consider that as an in-house brand. But then we would also have to sacrifice the consistency in quality. I have been down that road before. I've started with gel cap. I've shot. That is, if you come into Canyon Paintball, into our registration office, where the paintball pellets are stored, and there is a wall of different paintballs that I have bought in the past. From Hellfire, we have shot.
Hellfire.
All the way down to made in India and Taiwan and Hotbox and China. I have tried everything that is to be tried. Okay? Whether you want to believe it or not, all the sellers in the region, they know me. I've done that. Hotbox also we did. We used to buy from an empire was making in Taiwan. Right? So we bought from everyone. And I found that the biggest problem with paintballs are that the manufacturers in this part of the world cannot keep quality consistent. This batch, great. Next batch, pegang telur, we don't know whether it's going to be good. I've had entire skids sent back because they just chop in the loader. I don't know whether everyone remembers that. We had an entire skid of gel caps, just chop. You just pour it into the loader and it just chops when it turns. It's just too fragile. Or on the other hand, you can just kill dogs with them. They're too hard. So, so for me, I went to seek out GI spots because Richmond, Italia developed Hellfire paintballs. He developed Draxus paintball. He developed the formulas that they have today. And I find so far the consistency when it comes to GI and Empire is second to none. I've not shot the ProShop stuff, but from what I heard, also inconsistent.
Really?
Yeah, some fantastic.
Yeah, my batch was good.
Then you got Kenji bitching to me, he needed to take fine look for a 6.9 something insert at one event. So yeah.
Bring back DiGC.
Oh, cannot lah, mahal
No,
lah.
they're not going to make those pallets again. It was too expensive. Too expensive. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Next.
Next one. Why do you fight for paintball even though you know it's not profitable? It's from an anonymous.
That's the anonymous. Why do I fight for paintball even though, okay, the main reason I fight for paintball now is, and I keep telling people this, I still play paintball. And I still, the day I stop playing paintball is the day I probably give up. Because then I will lose the passion for running this. I still want to play. I still want to, and I've got this terrible attitude where if I find something not right, and I find that I can do better, I will go ahead and do it. That's how Canyon Paintball came to right. That's how NXL came to right. And this is how MXBL DL is going to come out. And this is how everything is going to go on. Because if I go to an event, for example, I can do better, man. Oh, I'm not one of those guys who's just going to sit down and tell you, I can do better. This should be this, and that. I'm going to go out and do it. And that's what I did. And that is when people are saying, nah. You can't do it. You can't do it. No way. You mean you can do better than this? I said, definitely I can do better than this. And that is why I fight for it. Because every single day I'm still passionate. I still look forward to playing on site. I still work out for paintball. And that is the weirdest thing. And this is also the saddest thing of my life. Every single day I lost so many friends from my golfing in life, you know. Totally different guy. You look at my friends from the golfing world and he is 100% different. Most of them are your fathers.
My dad. You know my dad,
all these
Mr. Oli.
people.
Shout out Mr. Oli. Shout out.
Shout out to Khairul's dad.
Red Tomato.
Yeah. So this is the saddest thing about my so-called paintball career now is that I felt that I've lost a huge part of my old life, which I regret very much because these guys, it wasn't terrible. I didn't leave it because I scammed people, or I didn't leave it because, I did a bad name and had to run away from it, or I couldn't bear the, I left it because I came to paintball. And that was left behind. It was like those people that leave their kids on the side of the street for no apparent reason.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I know.
And then you go back thinking, are they still there?
I know.
You know what I mean? You know this feeling, right?
Yep.
And every single day, that is the regret that I have. And I tell you, that's the burden that I carry, which no one understands. I still, every weekend, I still get friends messaging me, you coming this weekend? And it's like paintball, no? I think you have groups, and slowly you realize that these groups are really quiet. And then you realize that they've started another group already, and this group is gone, and you're still in that group. Yeah. I have like 5 golf groups like that, and there's no sound. It cannot be. We used to like blow up every day, all kinds of stuff, golf stuff, right? Tada. And that's when I realized that these people have left you even without talking, because you don't respond enough times, you don't join enough times. Yeah. Just have a training every week. Kalau you hilang 2-3 months, people will say, "Tak, yalah, call you." This has happened to me. And I always say that I can go back. I still have 2 golf club memberships. I'm a member of the biggest golf club in the country. My name is on the champion golf. But somehow I just don't feel like going back. I still feel like every weekend, like last weekend was a quiet weekend, I was still hyped. 8 o'clock in the morning, I was trying to get you guys at 8:30. Yeah. We were working out to go and play. I'm hyped to play. I'm still looking at the sky. I still want to win. Yeah. So that is what, if you ask me, why do I still fight for paintball? It's because of that feeling. And I tell you, every single one of those organizers out there that are still fighting for paintball and they still claim as though there's no money in it, deep down, that is why they fight. They just don't play anymore because they figure, the guys that I'm paying for to play are much better than me. I don't want to make a fool of myself. That's why I'm not going to play. But deep down, I love playing. And that's why this 5.5 ball thing came back up again, because these guys now can come back and play with the so-called pros which they brought up. Because who wants to go back and get beat up by the guy that you thought?
Yep.
You know what I mean? I thought these guys, I brought them in. I'm telling you, it may sound arrogant, may not admit, but the amount of teams that I've brought into paintball from my years in Canyon Paintball, I can't count. Amount of players that have come from jungle with me to speedball and back, I can't count. For me to go back and get snap shoot out by those guys, it's like, I'm happy to do it now because, hey, I know I'm still better than them. But can you imagine if you become a big fat dude after, hey, this is no problem, but if you have lost your fitness, if you have lost your ability to be a good baller anymore, and now you come back, and I know that's how Rich Telford feels sometimes, and I ask him, and you want to go back and play the 5-man, right? This guy was legend before, brought up so many people, but now, knees are no good, back is no good, heart still wants to go, but I don't want to make a fool of myself. You know what I mean? These guys are still in the sport, and that's what they fight for. You feel me? And that's what you will fight for. You will fight for that too. Yeah. Don't nod your head. That one you have to beat, lah.
This is from an anonymous.
Again, why so many anonymous? Have the balls to come out and put your name on it, at least.
Hello anonymous. Thank you for your
Hello,
question.
thank you. Still, thank you very much,
You want
Mr.
to tanya?
Anonymous.
You tanya lah nanti. You cakap.
I tanya
banyak.
sebab tadi boy cakap I tanya.
Fine,
Alright.
go.
Okay, how's the new lineup for Wise Guys?
Oh, who the hell would
You want to
ask?
ask again?
Yeah.
How is the new lineup for Wise Guys?
Are you talking about 2019 lineup that we had, which is new, or the 2020 lineup, which we're going to have the super lineup that's coming 2020?
Let's talk about the super lineup.
The super lineup. Okay, here's the thing with the Wise Guys.
Are they wise?
Actually, the original Wise Guys were this guy, actually. We sat down, Jason and Chip and all these guys. We went and played an event in Singapore, and we were all sitting on the table as we always do on Sunday afternoon. And we decided, like, hey, let's go and play. And who was there? It was Chip and Aznan. Let's go and play this event. And there's Jason, and there was a few other guys, Abang Boy. And we decided on a name because we always talk as though we are so clever about all the whole industry and everybody. So I said, what's the best? Wise. We are Wise Guys.
Wise Guys.
And Wise Guys is a synonym in the States that meant gangsters, right?
Really?
I mean,
Jason Yap, gangster?
that's the thing. But the Wise Guys got soldiers, ma! So that was Jason. So that was when we set up. So it was always never really, to be honest with you, and now I'm going to change the way we think about it. It was never a serious team because we were just going to throw together guys that didn't have a team to play with, who were at Canyon, and we thought we were cool. Let's go and play. You're cool. Let's go and play. You're cool. Let's go and play, right? So that's what we did. That's why we never really had, the only real guys were me and Poison, actually.
Shout out Poison.
And Poison, and everybody else was, and Poison was left, the Simpsons had just disbanded, and everyone started their own team. I thought, let's just go play. So we decided to set up the Wise Guys, and we were just going to pick up customers, friends, buddies, and play. But then we started to get pretty good, and then we started to get pretty good. I mean, okay, some of the results they don't show, but then we felt pretty good, and we thought let's get a little bit better. Then the Kraken guys were also disbanding. Kraken, the guys. Unleash the Kraken. They were, and also good friends of mine, which started with me as well in Tanah Merah. Good buddies. I couldn't think of anybody else. I spoke to Lisa and spoke to Dana, and we merged. And so then we had two teams together, Kraken and whatever was Canyon Paintball, put together. And then we had our first batch of guys. Did terrible, right? We didn't gel. In fact, Haman was also one of the first Wise Guys.
Shout out Haman.
Haman, because he was also looking for a team. He was just coming back in. And we did terrible at our first few events.
Right.
Abang Aziz was also the first guy. In fact, Abang Aziz was the one to say, Guch, let's do it. He's full of ideas, I remember. And this guy, Aziz is one of those legendary guys. If you have to pick legend guys, I pick Aziz. One of the legends.
Aziz is your legend guy?
One of my legend guys in Malaysia. He's one of the guys I knew when I started. Okay, too young. This guy, I remember he was already playing Snake at 40 something, still jumping in and out, still looking fit. I mean, this guy. And one of those players that I felt was always thinking when playing, always switched on about what's going on everywhere. Even though he was Snake back, he's one of those guys that always got good control of the game. And he's a great guy to play with in a team. Because if you're in trouble, you're stuck, and you look back, Aziz knows what to do next. Guch, go Snake, Guch. He knows. He's got it figured out. So it's always great to have. And I was so blessed to talk to Aziz. I picked up the phone and called Aziz, would you please come and join us to play? Okay, we didn't do so well in Malacca. Again, who knows why a team does badly sometimes. You have a lineup of great guys. So yesterday, Issei was talking about Riot. You have a lineup of great guys doesn't automatically mean that you're a superstar good team. And then you got 5 guys that walk in out of nowhere. You can't pick out even one guy's name, and they are just beating everyone, right? So who's to say why people do well and why people don't do well? So for whatever reason, we didn't do well when we started. Possibly because I didn't play with it. But look, going to the next point, I'm making a point never to play my own events because I find there will always be a conflict of interest in the middle of it. So I always stay out of those events.
Thank you for
and I always felt that I should play some events. Whenever I played with those guys, we always play great together. Play with Jason. We always podium, I think, somehow or other when we play together somehow. Maybe it's because Jason wins all the points. But the fact remains, for whatever reason, we don't win. The fact, if your team can stay together, this is my point, and work out the kinks, and hang on for as long as you can, the time will come. And the time did come for us in Penang when we went to the final. We did lose badly, but guys played so well, I must say, in that horrible mud that was in Penang. It was horrible mud. I mean, I'm the first to admit, but listen, it was horrible mud for everyone, right? It wasn't just mud for me, it was mud for everyone. And to come through an event like that and go to a final, you're already a winner. And that was when the light started to shine. Everybody had, a team stays together these days only because they can win events. If you get knocked out at every event, they won't last long. The team that can stick together while being knocked out, this is the team that you want to really believe in because they will stick together no matter what. And I think Riot did that. I mean, they did, to be honest with you, for the amount of great talent that you have, I would say you guys are underachievers. You should be like winning every event, but you actually struggled to a lot of events the last few years. Struggle. It was difficult for you to win, and you guys still stuck together. That's why I have a lot of respect for you guys, because it's easy to just say, hey, I'll go to this team, I'll go to that team. Everyone's got offers and go, but somehow or other they stick together and rebuild. So shout out to you guys, respect that. So back to Wise Guys again. So that was 2019. So we're going for my lineup for 2020. 2020 obviously Poison. Okay, me, I'm in the lineup. If it's not an NXL or MXBL event, I'm in the lineup. Definitely, I'm the first guy to be in there. We will still have Poison. We will still have some of the Kraken guys. We picked up our player from Sarawak this year, Hausia. I don't know whether you know Hausia from Waxer.
Shout out Hao.
Shout out Hao, good buddy of mine. He will play with us 2020 season. We also picked up Vince.
I like Vince.
Who was? I like Vince. Again, yesterday Issei didn't give enough credit to some of the other guys who play. And he said, I remember it was close to the point about me. You were asking who's his favorite player, and he gave names like Mango and those guys from the past. But if you ask me this question, I'm totally different bunch of guys.
Let's ask you this question.
Yeah.
Give us your best 5.
Look, I don't even talk to this guy. Best 5? Okay, let me start with the guy that I saw this year and last year and I thought was great. I don't even know him, to be honest with you. We talked a few times, but it's just like hi. Lawrence Lowe, snake player from that guy.
Yep.
I think he's one of the best players that I've seen in recent years. Saw him play before, but improvement. This guy, whenever you play at NXL event, I'm looking, he's one of the most switched on snake players that I see. Normally snake players are one track mind. They go in, they try to go forward, try to make. This guy backs up from the snake, comes into the corner, goes back out again. I said, nobody gives this guy enough credit for controlling that side of the game. So I shout out to him. Vince, another guy that I really like, aggressive as anything, come from the back. This is a guy I've been playing with, and you ask him to look after snake corner, and if you blink and you take too long in snake corner, he's 2 bunkers in front of you, in front of the snake, dived in and doing your work for you already.
You got it too,
this is, you know, guys like that, it's like, he's probably going, you're taking too long. Yeah. And he goes, guys like that. Who else?
Who's your third guy?
Oh, I'm not picking a team though. I'm just telling you guys that I thought were pretty good. If you ask me to pick a dream lineup, it would be impossible to pick up because I'd have to look at all of Asia. To be honest with you, the guy that struck out to me in Asia this year, because we run NXL Asia, I see players from all over, is this Chinese guy from Taiwan called Yue. I don't know whether you know him. Nope. He plays for Taiwan Storm. And he came out and he played with Imperial this year. I watched him play with Taiwan Storm a few times. You watch this young guy. One of the best players I've seen in Asia in the last 5 years. Aisawan guys included.
What's his name?
I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. His name is Yue. Yuehyu, I think. Tall Chinese guy lah. All right, he's a tall Chinese Taiwanese guy. He plays for Storm and he plays for Imperial. Very impressive. This is one of the controlling guys I see in the center running the entire game. I was watching this guy, I was going, man, they don't even speak his language, but somehow or other, we got this paintball language where we talk to each other. It doesn't have to be English, it doesn't have to be Chinese. It can just sound like, bah! If we're playing together, we know what's going on. And this guy had it dialed in, controlled the game. And Imperial, because they had him, I'm sorry to say, Imperial is a fantastic team, but always lack that last bit, no? They always they can dominate in the preliminary rounds, but once they reach the semi-final stage, shaky. But with Yue in Penang, they just rule. They just beat everyone.
All right.
So I like that guy as one of the upcoming guys that I saw this year, and I would like to, if I have a chance, to play with this guy as well. Ben knows, Jane knows. Thailand, Ole, the guy with the long hair.
Ole's good.
Look, man, I've never seen, I don't know, I know he was in WPC last year. Skinny guy. WPC last year, I'll never forget this. Ole played for Taiwan, the Thailand team, against the US team. One guy had 3 US pros. He was holding them for like 40 seconds in the snake corner. Did you see that shit? And they were actually panicking, Chad George, Tim Montesor, and who was the other one? I can't remember. They were pounding him. And he was in this corner tight as coming out with his usual 2 pots or 3 pots, whatever it is, right? With Dizon. I'm not talking, and these are this level pro, not like this level pro. This level pro was struggling to, they took him out in the end. But did this fight give them a fight? You know what I'm saying? Ole, definitely, if I had to pick one guy. And I don't think he even talks to his own team though, when he plays. Does he talk? Ole. Yeah, when he plays. He talks in Thai though, right?
Kalau cakap bahasa Melayu,
yeah, but okay. But if you ask me, for example, guys that I would feel comfortable going into the field with, guys like this, that means I'd feel like, dude, even if I broke and died, I know these 4 guys are going to win the game. You know what I mean? Or look, I'm free to do whatever I want because, hey, these 4 guys here, those are some of the guys that I pick, I also like the way Issei plays, and not because people say he's the snake god, but I think this guy matured. I watched him play. And again, Issei was right. He's played almost every NXL event for different teams, right? And I always like watching this guy because he always takes this late controlling role. He's a guy that studies the whole game. Yeah. I like to see people like that because he will never, maybe in his younger days, I never saw he would bust out into the snake and go to snake 1 and do Sabli's job, for example, of just wait and kill. But right now, every time he plays, he breaks late. He stays somewhere in the center, he picks out where everybody is, lays out some instructions, then makes his move.
Yes.
And then it is generally either he dies or he makes a killing move which changes the game. And guys like that, you need in every team, I think. Every team needs a guy like that.
Agreed.
A guy that can confidently end the game. You know, because too often we go into this tunnel vision, even guys like me playing for 10 years. Sometimes you go into tunnel vision, everyone's pounding you, but this guy in front of you is fighting with you and all you see is that guy.
Yeah,
I see Issei taking his eye off that guy and finding other ways to kill other people or getting that guy you need. Awe, I'm not so sure because I, to be honest with you, I've never played with him and I don't really watch that much paintball. Believe it or not, you run events, you don't get to see as much paintball as you want to see.
I can see
So
that.
when I'm walking around, if I catch a game, I catch a game. It's all so exciting. You see the schedule come out when they first come out. Oh, Nemesis is going to meet Riot first game. Oh, it's so exciting when we talk about it, but the moment it goes off, oh, that game's finished already. Shit, I missed that. You know, you miss the whole thing. And then you have a few minutes free, you run out and watch a game. Then that's why sometimes I catch these odd games in mechanical or whatever it is, because I don't get to see as many games as I thought. But you see results. So again, results are the things that will stand the time. How you played, believe it or not, how well you play also will never reflect the result in the end. The result will say 4-0. No matter how hard that 4-0 came, it's still 4-0, right? 3-1 is a 3-1, 3-2 is a 3-2. No one is going to draw pictures for you on how you got that point. It's still a point. So that's what I see in the end, and based on those and the lineups, then probably I get that.
Okay, next question.
Yeah.
So you can't choose your best lineup because you would have to choose from ASEAN and
For the
Malaysia.
whole Asian region, because I've seen so many great players around
Okay.
Asia this year,
No
improving.
worries.
In
No.
Singapore especially. Singaporeans are really on the next level of their paintball right
Different.
now. Yeah, I like the tall guy from Healy and Hell Lions, Jumat, you know, the Azmi Jumat. I like him. Look at the size of this guy.
I don't know him.
He's like 6 foot, whatever. He's their snake player. And when we played against them, I went with dark side. It's like, that's your snake player. I'm going to shoot you, man. You're going to die. Dude, it's tight. Dude plays, plays great, top guy.
The Singaporean that I like to watch right now is Imad. Shout out Imad.
Yeah, that's a guy that I missed,
If
actually.
you're looking for a team, look us up.
I heard that he's made it.
Right? Hashtag Cuba.
I heard he joined somebody else though.
I heard that too.
I heard that too. Yeah.
It's alright. It's alright.
You know what? The problem with Lanun is,
They have a problem?
to me the problem with Lanun.
No. Okay. Keep that for later. We
Okay.
have questions for that.
Yep.
Alright. So that is your top 5. Okay. Let's ask very fast.
Fast.
Are you scouting for players, wise guy?
I'm always scouting for
Always
players.
scouting, okay,
I'm
okay.
scouting for, but the type of players that we're looking for probably wouldn't join, because yesterday, like Issei said it out very clearly, we want to play for free, and we can do this, we can do that. We are looking for people who can afford to play. All right, we have a certain sponsorship program, but it's not what you think it is. You know what I mean? It's same like Riot Crew. We got 3 boxes from Imperial program, just like you guys. So a lot of time that's a turn off. So that's why we can't really build a great squad, because the great players have this attitude now that they need to come in for free. And I don't know, man. I haven't found. You see, Sabli, for example, you can argue Sabli plays for free, but nobody realizes that Sabli is part of my infrastructure crew.
Yeah.
He comes on Monday. He takes time off from Sogo and he works I'm telling you, shout out to Sabli. No one works harder than freaking Sabli.
Yep.
Sabli can do all kinds of shit for you, I'm telling you. This guy. He's not also young, family
He's
to
young?
bring up. He's not young.
He's not young.
He's
Okay.
not young. He also is a young family, just like I have. But this guy, top guy, always got a smile on his face. Like I said, you want me to pick good guys? I pick this guy. Big smile on his face. Anything also okay. Man, at Grumpy, when he was playing at Grumpy, they ran this guy almost to the ground. He played every point. Sabli. So this is the problem Sabli has with us, because we've got Jimmy, we've got Daniel. I have to rotate. And Sabli's not used to rotation. But I said, look, all of us have got to get in. Everyone equally can play Snake. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. So anyone looking for teams?
Please,
Check out
Wise Guys
Wise
is
Guy.
open. Young, old, whatever.
Young, old, whatever. Let's go this one, number 17.
Okay, go.
Go. You tanya lah. I dah tanya. Okay, this is from Anonymous also.
Anonymous? Why so many anonymous?
So many, bro.
Why so scared? Why so scared?
17.
17.
Why so scared to say your name?
Don't know.
Okay, you announced that Wise Guys are using the new Empire marker.
Yeah.
But they're still using other markers.
That's right. Okay, here's the problem. We have an issue with bringing guns into Malaysia right now because of firearm permits.
Okay.
Okay, so right now we are sitting in this gray area where we don't know that if we make an investment on a brand new sixes, which we are supposed to shoot sixes. The wise guys are supposed to shoot sixes. Our guns are ready. They're at Boss Paintball. Ross Jones has them. Brab has them. But I'm skeptical to ship them to Malaysia because I don't want to lose the whole shipment of guns. So until we know which direction we're going to take on the importation of these guns, I'm going to hold off bringing in anything that will cost my teammates money. Because I'm not going to sponsor the guns. All my teammates. Okay, let me explain something about sponsorship in the paintball world. Nobody gets free shit. All right, there, right? Nobody gets free shit. We just get a discounted price of an item.
I thought we got medals. No.
You get medals, yeah, you get medals. But you get a gun, and it's not for free. You have to pay for it, but it's probably at cost.
Yep.
So if the gun would cost maybe $900 US, we'd probably pay $600 US, but we'd have to buy 10 or something like that, right? So there we go. So I'm holding off on our gun package because we want to make sure that when we bring the guns in, they are brought in properly and that we don't get stuck at customs. So that's why. So right now, everyone in Wise Guys is just shooting, with exception for me. You'll rarely see me shoot me anything more than either a 6 or a Vanquish. But these guys shoot guns which they came into Wise Guys with. So mostly Planetary Eclipse, Lux X, Jimmy shoots a Lux, Sabli shoots anything that's not being shot. Okay, I tell you what gun Sabri shoots. Ada marker tak? That's his gun. What's his gun? Ada marker tak? That's his gun.
Okay. So
that's a good question.
Anonymous, you got your answer?
Yeah.
All right. We can buang that. Okay, number 19.
19.
Rank open teams from
this is going to be hard.
From worst.
This is going to be hard. I can already see that you're asking me a question which I can answer from the APA. Go and look at the season.
Okay,
go to the season. It will show you, but it won't tell you the story that these guys had. Right? You look at it and you wonder, shit, I did so much better. Why am I last in the open division? Or why am I first? I didn't do shit. That's a different question altogether. But if you want to know who's first and last, go to APA, look at season rankings. First to 10 is right there. Clear. All right?
All right, next.
Check APA.
PBLI lah.
PBLI.
Aye.
You want to ask number 21 terus?
Okay.
Okay, go.
Right.
21 terus.
21 terus.
7 more to go.
Okay. Do you see a future where organizers can work together?
Definitely. The truth is, the industry needs more organizers actually. Because think about it. All the organizers that are relevant, so-called relevant, are in the Klang Valley only. So we will always tend to try and do events here. We need people to start developing in Kelantan, in Terengganu, in Johor, in little feeder events. When that happens, when there's so many organizers at that, everyone will be forced to. Two things will happen. One, at first they will all struggle. Saya akan kawan kau, you akan kawan. We will draw alliances with certain organizers that we know, and those alliances in the end will end up fighting with the opposition for a while, but in the end, they will realize that we are fighting for maybe one event or 2 events a year. Why not find some common ground? But the main problem would be to decide, because here it is. I believe very strongly that democracy is not for Asia. We can't live like in the States where everybody gets a vote to decide. We have too many people that have got too many stupid ideas that also have a say. You want to move along fast? Because I tell you right now, we're late. Guys like me, guys like Khairul, guys like Jason, we have a few more years, then we're gone. Then whoever is behind us will have to pick this up. 5 years. Okay, Khairul's got 5 years.
I got 5 years.
All right, Khairul's got 5 years, so I've got 5 more years. Look, within these 5 years, if guys like us, which some of you don't like me, some of you hate me, but some of you, I'm sure some of you recognize that I'm the guy that's doing the right thing now. If you guys recognize that I'm doing the right thing now, I can tell you right now, in 3 or 4 years, I'll be gone. I can't be in here forever, right? And when I'm gone, hopefully we have left enough of a so-called line of legacy that's done properly that the sport can still grow long after we're gone. Properly. Not like how the previous left and then just gone. Then we have to pick up from everywhere and start scratch again. I'm hoping that one day when I will leave you a nice file, like how I used to do in the golf.
It's like a Bible lah.
I wouldn't say a Bible, but I always take this example. I was captain we have this very famous golf team at TPC, now KLGCC, called The event is called the Beauty and the Beast. One side is beauty, one side is beast. And this is basically the whole golf club cut in half. You're either a beast, you're either a beauty forever. And I was captain of the beast for a long time. And captain of the beast will always hand over a file to the new captain. And that file better be schmick. And that file has everything in it. Finances, games wars, teams, pairings, whatever we did must be in there. So the new captain opens his book and just follows the way it should be done correctly. You want to add stuff in, fine. But if you up, you look inside there, it will show you why that didn't work. And that book is like 20 years old, right? So when I hand it over to the next guy, whoever wants to take over, whoever we feel that, hey, this is the guy, it will be done properly for you. You know what I mean? Not like when I came into the industry, man, that's a different question, man. I can tell you what I had to go through. And these people know too, hiding in the corner and watching slowly this podcast, you know, they probably will be watching, but they want to make sure they anonymously watching. You know these guys, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Tadi kita tengok 21. Let's skip that.
Arrogant. That's what people will say I am.
All right.
Arrogant.
So that's it. We are almost into our ending. It's 12 o'clock right
I thought
now.
you said 28.
Yeah, but we are skipping. Okay. You're very fast.
Very fast.
Your opinion on all these teams that we list down.
Okay.
All right.
One by one, or you want to wait for the whole team? Okay.
No, one by one. I'll ask the first team. Waxes.
Oh, Waxes. Okay, here's the thing with Waxes. The moment you see Waxes, you see Mahmood. You don't see a team. He always picks guys up, puts them together, and comes to an event. So that's my opinion of Waxes. Love this team. They've been my supporter from the start. Thank you, Mahmood. I respect you. But it's time that you build a team of core guys that will not leave Waxes. And because really, I strongly believe Sarawak needs a team to role model all of Borneo. And I think you guys, please believe me when I tell you this, are the only ones that can do it. Please pick 10 Sarawakian guys. Please pick 10 of the best Sarawakian guys that you can find. And you have it there. You have it in Sarawak. I promise you, you have that talent. Pick 10 Sarawakian guys. Come with your big flag of Sarawak. Come with Borneo. Come to an NXL event. Come to any event and carry the flag from Sarawak. And really, I'm telling you, no one is more tight-knit than Sarawakian guys. For real, I lived in Kuching. I know. If you got a bunch of Kuching guys together, I don't care what's your name. You spend a few months training under Issei or Eddie or whoever it is. Your passion for playing will be stronger than anybody else. Your passion to win will be stronger than anybody else. Don't rely anymore on all these other guys. Just pick up like Khairul and Aznan. You know, Jason. Did he ever get Jason? No, right? Yeah.
Guide for hire available?
There you go. Leave these guys alone. Build your own team. Mahmood, I know, he's lazy. He's like, tak nak lah, malas lah, aku nak main je. But somebody's got to do it.
Okay. Next team.
Waxes, next. Pirates? Oh, Johor Pirates. Okay. Listen, I'm so glad Johor Pirates made a comeback.
Shout out Johor Pirates.
Johor Pirates, Squiffy and these guys. This is one, you won't believe it, but one of the reasons and one of the excuses that I used to go to Johor was because of Pirates. I said, I need to see teams like Pirates, OSB, all come back again. Because these are the teams that actually built paintball as we know it. Teams
Johor.
that come all the way from Johor. We are the Pirates. And come all the way up. Win or lose, that's secondary to me. That you have come to represent your state, and you come to represent with a bunch of guys. Again, some events you did badly, some games. I remember NXL in Malacca, they did fantastic. Went to final, they did terrible in Penang. Listen, I don't look at any of that. I look at this camaraderie that you all have together, and that is what you have to bring. Pirates, definitely Pirates.
All right. Next team, all across from our neighbor, Lanun.
Lanun. What was I going to say about Lanun? The problem with Lanun is this. Nothing to do with your game. But the moment you say Lanun, I see Pot. Because I swear to God, Pot has been playing the paintball of his life with this team. Every time I see Pot in Lanun, he is making moves, he's controlling games. He just shines out too much in this team. That it seems that everything falls around Pot. And I tell you what, shout out to Pot. Pot, you're playing the best paintball of your life because of Lanun. Yes, a lot of them are new, a lot of them, and you feel that you have this burden to carry these guys, and that's why you're stepping up your game. But Pot, I tell you what, man, when I see Lanun, all I see is Pot. You know what I mean? Now you told me Imat. Yes, I do see some of the young guys.
I see Imat.
But I tell you what,
I
man.
see you.
But I tell you what, let me ask you this question in Lanun. If Pot gets taken out early, you think you guys can win a game?
Imat can.
Okay, if Pot and Imat get...
Imat and who? Harith. Shout out Harith.
All right.
Shout out Imat.
So that was my opinion.
Okay, shout out Lanun. Next one.
Red 7.
Our friends.
Our friends. Okay, tell you what. You know, Red Sevens. You know why? You know why? Because there's so many similarities with Red Sevens and Wise Guys. Again, same thing. They run a field. They also come and support like we do. We also pick up people that got no team to play, and then we just go. And I know exactly how they feel because Ben and Jane, probably in the bottom of their heart, also want to compete and do well. But we just don't have the time. We run the SPS event. I'm going to say it because I know how they are thinking. We run SPS, we run Red Dynasty. Now I picked up this esports. And on top of that, we are the global ambassador for paintball for Asia. I shit you not. They are the ambassador for, I don't care who comes from where to semi-pro, whatever it is. These guys travel more to any other event and carry the Asian flag than anyone in the history of Asia. Big shout out. I don't know whether anyone realized this. I gave them an award early this year for that. I gave them one. Of course, they didn't turn up. Thanks for not turning up. But I gave the award. Fabian was there. I gave it to Fabian.
They went to another event, right?
No, no. They were, beginning of the year, it was raining and they were just late to the captain's meeting.
Oh, at the school.
At the school, remember? I gave them this award. I said I had to, and it was part of the whole event that we set up was I had this award that I wanted to give them because I felt so strongly that they deserved it, and no one ever looks. You know how much money you have to spend, how much time you have to spend. You know, and between me and Poison, sometimes we want to go somewhere. He got to stay, I got to go, or we both go. Then we have to leave it with somebody else. All these thoughts, new infrastructure. I know what they go through. So if you ask me, Red Sevens, listen. If you guys do badly in an event, do well in an event, believe me, you've already done what you have needed to do already in paintball. There's nothing needed to be done. So please play with no pressure, like in Penang. They came and really played well. Play with no pressure and enjoy your paintball because you have nothing left to prove, especially to me. I have all my respect for these guys.
All right.
Red Sevens.
Red 7.
Next.
I tanya lah sebab takkan you nak tanya kan. Next team, Kamikaze Kings.
Kamikaze Kings, that's right. Tell you what I think directly about Kamikaze Kings. If they feel that they cannot win, they won't play.
Betul ke?
They feel they cannot win, they won't play. Which to me
Smart.
is a slap. No, it's a slap in the face. It's a slap in the face to Aznan, to Shane, to all the guys that come and practice because they feel that if they don't have Terry, they don't have Moya, they have the Kerrigan, we can't win this event, we're not going to go.
You setuju ke benda ni?
Shots fired.
Come on.
True or not true?
Kev comment on it.
You tak boleh komen lah. You tak boleh komen.
But what do you think? Do you think, am I even close?
No, because I do not know
Am I even close? I must be close, right?
Amir would know.
That's why they didn't play NXL events. This year they played Leg 1 only, right? Because Kerrigan came. He's a pussy. Why did you get this guy to sit here? I don't want a pussy sitting next to me.
Other than that.
Okay, other than that, again, great friends of mine, Kevin, Jason. These are guys that came from MAPAC before, and they took a risk on Canyon Paintball, and they came. Thank you so much, guys. Seriously. Shout out to the Kamikaze Kings and Jason and Kevin, Makan guys, good friends of mine. The guys that, again, were probably used to a different style completely at MAPAC and came to us, and I told them about memberships. All of them are members. Explained to them what we're going to do forward, and Kevin understood that, Jason understood that, and for better or for worse, they've had their problems. I remember they had issues where they were fighting with each other, team broke up, came back together. Whatever it is, they're still here. At the end of the day, just like Canyon Paintball and NXL Asia, whatever happens, we are still here. And that is important. And to me, please, I tell you what, again, maybe I don't think that it's a money issue. Sometimes people use it as an excuse. Oh, the prize money is not going to. I think with these guys, again, everybody is doing well. When you come to an event, come to represent who you are as a paintballer and for the practice, rather than come to try and win an event. I don't think anyone expects you to. Oh, you must win when you come. We want you to come there to hang out with all your friends. We want to see you when you come to an event. That's what I want to do. I want to come out. When I look at it, you know what I do? When I look at PBLI, when they register, oh yeah, all my friends are coming. Other than that, when new teams sign up, I don't even look. It's like, okay, these guys are in great. And that's why I make my events as good as possible, because these guys are here. If you guys don't come, and I'm just going to sell to make. I don't want to do already. I say it on camera right now.
Say
If
it,
I
say
don't
it.
know, I'm saying it right now. If from A to Z in my events, I don't know the teams anymore that are coming, and I don't know the people are coming, but I'm not going to do it anymore. Someone else can do it. Because the reason I do it and I force myself to do it well, I don't have to force myself to do it well. It's just like you invite me to your house for a dinner, right?
For a podcast.
For a podcast, for example, you put out a podcast. I come invite you out to my paintball tournament. I'm going to put you the best paintball tournament I
Paintball
can.
tournament.
That's shit, yeah. Yeah, maybe we should have more prize money. That will attract people that we don't know.
Shout out people that good.
I don't know.
Shout out.
I'm sorry, man, but we'll just attract people that we don't know. And if the whole event is full of people that I don't know, I'd rather not go.
Okay. All right. You can ask the last
one.
team.
The old people of Grumpy Cox.
What do you mean the old people are Grumpy Cox?
I don't
What's the
know.
question?
No, the team.
No. What do you think
What
about
do
the
you think
team?
about the team?
Oh, look, every single one of those guys are guys that I started paintball with. They're all my friends. Barring Hafiz, what the f this guy? You know, I don't know what's the question though. Do I like them? Do I hate them? What's the
So
question?
what do you think of the opinions?
He's not with me.
I'm telling you. Okay,
He's
my
not.
opinion.
Yeah.
If you looked at this Grumpy Cock team when they set it up with just the players that they have, you don't think they would clear the prelims.
Agree.
Right? You look at these guys, they're roundish in shape, you know. Both of them are grumpy. You don't think they could work together. Everyone is a little bit pissed off. Everyone's got an opinion about this and that shit. But somehow or other, the team kind of gels when they play, right? And it's not any particular person that you can pick out. They also rarely take that many guests, actually. Dog plays sometimes with them. I don't think he's a huge difference, even if he plays or doesn't play with a team. They still did well. I don't think he played in Johor. They still topped the group. Regular guys there. Moon, Hafiz. Nobody gives these guys credit
Shout out
for
Hafiz,
playing
shout out
because
Moon.
I know these guys from the time that I used to play. They were always great players. They're just not the kind of guys that will come out on social media and tell you that they're great. That's it. You know what I mean? They're just like, they play every weekend. Baring is there every weekend. Moon is there, Hafiz. These sneaky guy like Hafiz, nobody gives him credit. Huh? You put this guy in any team, he will gel with you and kill people for you. I guarantee you Hafiz will shoot somebody for you in every game.
Yes.
Sneaky guy. And this is why quietly people take him. And when they take him, you see the games won. And then you look at the superstars in front. But quietly in the back, you see, yeah, Hafiz too are there. Actually, he was the guy. This is another superstar. And Moon, nobody gives him credit. This guy is one of the best back players in the country. You give him 10 pots of pellets, he will throw it on you, man. Barring the same thing. Shamin, fat and round as he is, but a wealth of experience behind this guy, right? He can sit down and still work out a plan with you. So you ask me what I think about them. They're a great paintball team. What can I say? I hope they keep together next year. Because again, these are all guys from my batch, right? Where are you going to go from here? Right? And then you got these excuses for people. They say, oh, I just had a baby. I can't play anymore, I had a baby. You had a baby and your wife had a baby. All right?
Are you talking about Jason?
I don't know. He still plays, he just doesn't train. But I hear this.
Jason showing his
Broken hand, broken hand.
broken hand.
Yeah, so that's what I think about Grumpy. Good
Alright.
friends of mine though.
Shout out,
Never
Cox.
forget. I would never, you know, if people like Baring and Moon and people like that stop playing and stop coming, I'd give up.
Yeah. So big shout out to Big Cox. Cox. Okay.
Big Cox, I don't
playing.
know. Don't stop,
So that's
please.
it.
That's
We got everything.
No one asked me any panas questions. What kind of a
Really?
gay
I thought it was
podcast
panas.
is this?
You want panas question? Anybody got panas question?
Nobody knows the panas question to ask. So.
You want to say anything panas?
No.
Organizer what?
thing.
We asked already.
Asked already. I told straight.
Asked already. He said already.
Answered.
He said already.
Yeah, I said
Anything you want to say to anybody? No.
Oh,
Uh,
well, I don't know
Okay.
what to say. There's nothing to
alright.
say.
Okay. So last words. Last words to your
I got last words though.
last words to your
Listen,
friends,
Whatever.
teams,
First
whatever
of
you
all,
want to say.
the last word will start with the same like before. Thank you so much, Khairul.
No worries.
Nan, guys, listen, I really appreciate this. Not for me, but for the paintball community. I hope that people watching this podcast can don't use everything lah. Some of it is rubbish, probably that I'm talking about. But
How
use
dare you?
from me. Use something that I said in here to hopefully inspire you to keep on playing. That's all I want you to do. That's all we want you to do. The community wants you to keep on playing. Pick up a gun. I don't care whether it's a
six.
DM6 or whatever. Bring it to Canyon. We'll try and fix it for you. Come out if you have any feeling to still play a little bit or so, but you feel as though all my friends are gone. And come, we will definitely.
I just had a baby.
I just had a baby. Oh, bring your baby.
I broke my hand.
I broke my hand. Yeah, please. This is my ending message. Come. If it's not my event, if it's not our event, play somebody's event.
Yeah.
Get out there and play.
Yeah.
Don't give up. This is another one. I got a baby. You had a baby? Yeah, I had a baby, bro. I can't come. Oh, really? Huh?
I didn't bring to the field.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Team,
Yeah.
friends,
What else? Teams, friends. I don't know. Guys, listen, man.
partners,
I have to
NXL.
thank. Yeah, I have obviously. I have to thank everyone that has been our supporter for Canyon Paintball, especially guys that have worked with me. I mean, this is not going to be the last podcast I do. Definitely not. I'll get called back again. I'll thank you again.
definitely.
But this time,
Season 2.
Maybe I don't say it enough to appreciate like Poison, Imam, all the staff that has worked with me through the years, helped me build, which I would be nothing without. Huh? I don't thank them enough. That's because I feel like it's like a paintball tournament. I just run my whole day like a paintball tournament. Do I have to thank you for covering me in the back as your job? Right? But I appreciate that you're there, definitely. Yeah, I have to thank you. Do you come out? Hey, thank me, man. I shot 3 guys, man. You know, guys like that, you get kicked out of the team straight away. I shot him. Oh no, if it weren't for me, you know, we don't do that. I'm just not like that. I go out and I thank you, but you know I'll thank you because I appreciate the fact that you guys are there too. Definitely appreciate all the staff that are there. Definitely, man. And I can't thank you enough. And there's no point before I start sounding like I'm going to cry. I just want to say thank you, and you won't hear me say this again. So you better record. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's it. Right.
All right. Thank you. That's it. That wraps up episode 2 of PodBthcn.
2.
With our.
I will be
big man.
back
You will be
because
back.
there will be shots fired after this.
Yeah.
And then people will have to respond. We got to get this Guch back in because everyone doesn't agree with what he says.
No worries.
Yeah.
Everybody has things.
Everyone
to say.
has
Yeah. So thank you for coming. Thank you,
Yeah.
Guch.
Thank you, my friends.
Thank
Hey,
you.
thank you, man.
Thank you.
No
Listen,
worries.
man. You too, man. Don't give up on this, all right?
no,
Told
we
you,
won't.
don't ever
We
give up on
won't.
this. Hey, you guys are tasked with making sure that they don't give up on this shit. You know how these fellas can give up on shit, right? Yeah, this one get edited lah, I know, but they can give up on shit. This time don't, because it's a good thing going. And it's the same thing I told Neon and I told them with this PNN stuff
Yeah,
and the
Azari
video.
and
Don't
Neon.
give up, because this is really something that you're going to fall back on when we're done. When we're done, you're going to put our guns down and we're going to contribute back. This is how we're going to contribute back, definitely. And everyone is slowly finding their footpath now. The people that are going to commit suicide is the one that can't find the footpath. When you drop your gun down, what am I going to do now? How am I going to stay in this industry now? This is the problem with a lot of people, and they go and do bad shit.
Yep.
This is the problem. They come out and go, so if I can't be part of it, I'm just going to go and destroy it. And this is the problem. We can't play forever. I'm going to do a event maybe next year for older people.
Veterans.
Masters Division.
There's the last event that you see me play in.
Okay.
I tell you. You want to be a veteran, you go and be a veteran lah.
All right. So that's it. If you want to be a guest, slide into Amir's DM. Send him a dick pic. He'll be happy to
Send
say
you.
yes. You want to say thank you?
Yeah, thank you everyone for, I don't know. Segan aku. Malu.
For your support. I love you guys.
Okay.
Thank you for the support.
I love you
Yes.
guys so
Please
much.
share everything that we
Share it.
produce. And peace.
I love you guys
So
so
yeah,
much.
please follow that.
For
that
my
story
baby.
department. Please follow that story department. Please share everything that I do. Please follow Red Turtle Media and share everything that you do.
Red Turtle.
Please follow everything from Canyon
Hey,
Paintball
I will
Park.
share whatever they have. That's
Alright.
it. Yeah.
You know where to contact us, IG, Facebook, everything. We would appreciate any comments, anything to make our podcast better.
Yes,
Let
yes.
us know. Amir is our marketing guy. If you have anything, if you want to sponsor the show, you can.
Hey, just start thinking about that, man.
Yeah.
This is going to be a good show.
If you want to sponsor 100 ringgit, I can put your logo here.
Damn.
Or your logo there. Or your logo there. Or it could be running here.
Hey, listen, for $500, I'd wear it on my forehead.
Yeah. See, Supreme, this could have been your brand. All right. So yeah, thank you.
Right, thank you.
You did a good job.
Yeah,
can do better
you
next
good
week.
job.
You can do better. Malu. Okay.
Yeah, it's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone.
All right. So that's it.
Didn't even get to cross.